we are live. Also, I want to be over on the just chatting screen for just a little bit. Actually, do I have chat set up over on the just chatting screen? I hope I do. Granted, counterpoint, I can still see chat. Oh yeah, no, we have chat here. We have chat here. Okay, so everything should be all good over here. I just realized since we haven't used this screen in so long, I was like, wait, do I even, like, I thought I had everything set up over here. I'm pretty sure I do, except for the music, so I can't find it. Granted, I haven't put too much time into looking for it this past week, but I still just can't find it. But anyways, sorry about being a little bit late today. Like I said last time, I want to start streaming relatively around 8, but it's a little bit harder on Wednesdays because I don't usually end work till around like 7:30 to like 8:30, somewhere in that time range. So we're going to be a little bit late from time to time on Wednesday specifically, but like Thursdays, those will be at 8 unless there's like a special occasion coming up, that kind of thing. But today I went in to like start the stream and I was like, huh, it's telling me that I'm not connected to my Twitch account anymore. That's a little weird. So I had to go to my settings, look at all that stuff. All my Twitch stuff was just gone. I was like, wait, why? I've been on OBS several times in the past week since the last stream, and I've been fine. No issues at all. Why is it so... Why is the chat so low? Chat text? There we go. That looks better. It's probably gonna go horribly, like not go all the way up the top, but that sounds like future me's issue. Yeah, no, but for real, it is an L. Because I generally don't know what happened. So I had to spend a little bit of time getting the Twitch reconnected and getting like all the notifications and everything and all that good stuff set back up. Thankfully, like some of the things were still saved, so I could just copy it over essentially. So that was really nice and easy. So, but yeah, no, that's just why I'm a little bit late today, just because I had to reset things up and I don't know why. Part of my brain went, oh, Plastico just subscribed. Oh my gosh, that's what I was gonna talk about. Hello, subscribed at tier 1. Here we go. Thank you, Plastico, for getting us started. First, yeah, thank you so much for being the first subscriber. Oh, and you get like a special badge. You get a special little icon. You get a special little first badge. That's awesome. Founder, 1 month subscriber. Thank you so much for the subscription. Oh my gosh, starting off like that. Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to talk about, is that after the last stream, we reached affiliate. And I was actually going to say, hey guys, thank you so much for that. Please don't subscribe yet, because I don't have things set up for that yet. Because there's some issues with work and sending out money that they did beat to that they had to then refund. So it's just kind of like a whole situation of I did have money in my bank account / I didn't have money in my bank account, so I didn't have like any time to like get like emotes or like anything like that set up. So I was like, I don't want people to like to subscribe and not get anything out of it. Ads and channel point, that means monetization. Exactly, yes it does. Also, hey Tracy, how's it going? How's your night going? My day's going pretty good. Outside of like again like the Twitch issues that I started the night with, it's been a pretty great day today. But yeah, no, we are monetized here, and I also spent like a little bit of time before stream getting all the channel points and everything set up. We got, hang on, what do we got? Oh, I have infinite channel points. That's awesome. Streamer perks. I just noticed that on my little thing. But yeah, no, we got like a bunch of stuff. We got like, hang on. I need to make the screen a little bit bigger to look at. Like, you know, we have like the obvious stuff like the hydrates and the posture checks and the stretches. But we also have like the power. We can give like people mod power for a little bit. We can have people use their channel points to time other people out. I thought that one was really funny. There was one, it's only for a minute, and there was one to do it for 5 minutes, but I thought that was mean. I thought that that's a little too much power, and it's a little too mean to do to each other. So I was like, let's not do that. Only the mods themselves can abuse that much power. But then we got stuff like suggesting polls, reversing like controls and stuff like that. I have to like, there's one to take off my glasses so I'm blind as a bat because I can't see anything. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun stuff over there. Bloop. But yeah, no, we do have monetization, but again, I'm getting the stuff kind of set up. Also, yeah, this emote down here is like the default when you reach affiliate, essentially. So again, like that's the main thing, is like I'm still getting stuff set up for like subscribers because I want to do that. And then I was thinking like doing like a Discord. That could be a lot of fun. just, you know, like setting up stuff up so that like people can like, I don't know, like, get like know each other more, like keep up to date on everything going on around with like the channels and everything, and just have a chill fun time. And then obviously there's stuff like the emotes and everything. Like I want to get some for the followers made, because there's different tiers of like follower emotes, and then there's the affiliate not the affiliate emotes, the subscriber emotes. So I want to get those worked on. So again, since like there aren't incentives yet, I'm like, hey, maybe don't subscribe yet. You know what I mean? Maybe don't be doing that. Also, I realized I didn't have the YouTube stuff pulled up, so I couldn't see nothing there. There we go. All right, now if anything happens on the YouTube side, I can actually see it. Gosh, I love looking at the YouTube side. Is it depressing at all? I don't know what it is. I think it's just because like my computer's like so much weaker than my other computer. It has to be that the stream over there is always just struggle busing. It's always just struggle busing. Don't tell me what to do. Well, listen, it was just more of like a recommendation, like, you know, because I just feel bad if people give me money and I don't provide anything. Essentially, that's just kind of how I'm feeling about it. Like, again, if it's what you want to do, I won't stop you. I don't think I physically could, even if I wanted to. Noted and ignored. Thank you. At least you did that. At least you did that. But again, it's just I feel a little bad about not being able to do the stuff. But it is being worked on. So hopefully by next week, maybe the end of next week, start of the week after, we'll have everything set up for subscribers and for the followers, because I want to do stuff for both, obviously, because it's only because of you guys that I made it here. Like, oh, hello? Hype train? What? Hype train incoming? Hang on, how do you even start that? I didn't even look at that. You will have limited time to earn exclusive emotes. Oh, thank you so much for the subscription, Tracy. I appreciate that so much. Hey, the hype train, I've never seen that before. That was another, like, one of those, like, jump scare modes, like, what is happening? But thank you so much for the subscribe. I really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate the support, because, again, it's only because of you guys that I'm even here. Not to sound too generic, but for a long, long time, I was like, no, I'll never get to, like, affiliate or anything like that. Just remember that ads will automatically play if you don't find times to do them. Yes, I do absolutely need to find times to do that. It'll mostly probably like be like, I don't know, like when I need to get up to like to use the restroom, or if there's someone at the door, if I need to make a call, stuff like that. Or, you know, I have it set to go like every like hour and a half, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. And whenever like the ads do start, we'll probably just like kind of stop and hang out so then people don't miss anything, especially since we do such story-based things. Won't be able to keep this up, but I want to support you and snag a founder's badge, lol. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And yeah, you know, you got one of the first badges. That's so cool. I didn't know that was a founder, a 1-month subscriber. Yeah, I didn't even know that that was like a thing that people got, because I also, again, I'm hoping to be able to get everything set up so then you guys get like more out of it, because there are like specific badges that I can get set up too for it. But no, I greatly appreciate the support, and I promise to do, again, my best, like make sure it's worth it. But yeah, no, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the way that Twitch works is that like even after like the subscription like goes away, you'd still have access to like the emotes and everything if I get that set up before your subscription runs out. I believe that's how it works. It's for the first 10 people that ever subbed you. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I didn't know that was a thing, but that's really cool. Especially because like it obviously pops up in this chat. So any time that like you or Plastico talk, I'll be like, hee hee, those guys are the people who were like the first ever to subscribe to me. That's awesome. But yeah, no, again, like, again, to sound very generic, I didn't think I'd ever hit here, but like there was a couple times where like I got close and I was like, ooh, we're so close to it. And then just like the next stream would do like terribly, so I'd like completely fall away from like it was always the average viewer goal that kept like screwing me over in it. So I just kind of became content, like, you know, I've been doing YouTube for like 10 years now as just a hobby. I'm pretty a-okay to just keep doing Twitch as a hobby, just because that's something I really enjoy doing. But then it's when we got to like the point where there's only like 0.4, 0.3, 0.04, 0.03, where it's like, hey, yo, wait, we might be able to do this. Hang on, we gotta go for it. And again, just thanks to like how awesome, like Tracy, Plastico, like you guys are like always here on the Twitch supporting me. So it's like because of you guys and like everyone who's been coming in through the Undertale side of things, who've like supported me and like gotten me this far. So like to everyone who's been watching, like, I greatly appreciate it. Like, the YouTube side who all came over and joined the Twitch side just to get me there, like, that was awesome of everyone to do. So I appreciate everyone who's like helped me with that so much. You have no idea how close I got way back when, Lamau. I peaked at 2.4 people, and then it just went down to 0.8. Yeah, no, that's the thing. The averages just like screw people over so much. Like with the Undertale stream where we had like 9-10 people in it by the end, ended up with like an average of like 5.4, which pushed us up from 2.97 up to 3.4. Like, it's just, I know that's just how math works, but like whenever like you get like above the average, it feels like it doesn't go up by that much. But whenever you get below the average, it feels like it just plummets. So like, yeah, it's like that is the average like viewer thing is so hard. But yeah, no, that's it's so frustrating. So I get you. Even getting affiliate already puts you in the 2% most popular streamers. Is that wait, really? I mean, like, I've been told before, I think it was specifically by Plastico, where like, yeah, the fact that you have like 2 or 3 viewers in there at a time already puts you in like the top 10% or something. I'm like, hey, yo, that's pretty cool. That's pretty crazy. So getting to affiliate puts me in the top 2%. Look at us, we're so prestigious. Jeez Louise. There's a lot of streamers, trust me. That's also fair. There's probably like hundreds of thousands, if not more, streamers on Twitch and on YouTube on both sides of this. So yeah, no, like, but getting to the top 2%, again, we're a prestigious club here. Look at all of us go. And again, it's entirely thanks to you guys. So I cannot be like more grateful, because again, just like the support that everyone's been showing over the past little while has been like so insane, and has made me feel like so grateful and honored that people are like coming back and like enjoying and spending the nights with us while we're playing this or playing Undertale, you know? It's just been a lot of fun. So I've really enjoyed doing it. But yes, was there any... I'm trying to think, was there anything else that I was thinking needing to talk about before we moved on over to the game? Aside of the fact that my legs are killing me right now, because, okay, so yesterday I did a thing after work. It's like a stair thing at the gym where it's just I think it's called like a stepper machine, where it's just walking upstairs for like a straight hour, and you burn so many calories. Like, I think in 45 minutes I burned like 700, and my legs are destroyed. I can like barely feel them, and it's mostly just pain. But what else has been going on? Because again, so we're gonna get to work on the emotes for followers and for subs, and then I also want to get to work on like more like redeems. Like, I want to get stuff like to work on like sounds and stuff like that, so it's not just like, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with like you having like the more generic stuff, but like having like, I don't know, like more fun options in there. And I also want to like get it set up so like you guys can like throw stuff at me. I always thought that stuff like that is fun, or where you guys can like mess with like the VTuber model, like put assets on me, that kind of stuff, or mess with that. I've always really enjoyed that side because it just like adds more like connection, I guess. Like, you guys can do more while watching, essentially. So I've always thought that stuff's really fun. And that's like, again, we're slowly just gonna be progressing and like getting more and more into like what you guys can do now. I really wanted to write more STH before today, but I got way too busy hunting a shiny Smoliv. Hit 42 phases before I got one I was happy with. That's awful. Wait, hang on. Maybe it's just like my knowledge and the lacking of vernacular here, and like maybe different phrases going on. But what does like 42 phases mean? Does that just mean that you encountered one 42 times? Because, or like, was it like 42 of like the breakouts or whatever? Because I'm not sure a phase is a shiny that it didn't fit your criteria. Oh, why didn't the 42 shinies fit your criteria? What was wrong with them? Is it like, were you trying to like go for like IVs on them or like specific natures and stuff like that? Because I think like my thing with shinies is that even if I hunted them, I would never get one. Like, I was actually thinking about this today. Why did it come up today? I'm trying to think why I was thinking about it. I don't remember, but I was just thinking about shiny Pokemon at some point, and I realized that I think I've only caught like, I've replayed like gens 1 through 4 like 10 to 20 times a piece. The Gen 5 games, you know, only a couple times, just because they're also a lot longer, and I also feel really bad about resetting my saves on there and yada yada. Like, I played every Pokemon game at least 2 times, and the earlier gens like dozens. And I've only ever caught like 4 shinies. So, uncommon mark, no mark, weather/time of day mark. Oh yeah, no jumbo mark. Yeah. Those things. Yeah, I get you. I've never heard anyone describe them as like phases though. That's interesting. It's another one of those like you'll learn something new every day thing, especially since I'm sitting here like, man, I'm like really deep in the Pokemon community. Like I watch like PokeTubers and like listen to Pokemon stuff like every day. You know, I'm like too deep in the trenches with this one, and I've never heard that phrase before. So a lot of people go for specific natures and genders as well. That is true. That is true. I wanted one with a personality mark, had to settle for a rare mark because geez. It's a shiny hunting term, a shiny hunter term, and you know what, that's fair. I think shiny hunting is like the one part of the community that I'm like not really in at all. What's her name? It's like Partly Arlie. Like I sometimes watch like her content, and like she's big into shiny hunting, but outside of like her, I don't really do like any kind of shiny hunting stuff, just because I'm like, it's always just bored me. I'm not gonna lie. Like just watching somebody like just like reset and like it's the same thing of like I don't want to do that, because like to me like the perks of a shiny is like it's just something like that naturally pops up, like, you know, you're just going about your journey and like, oh my gosh, here's like a golden Spearow or something like that, like stuff. I think that like to me makes it feel better. There's nothing wrong with shiny hunting, it's just never been something that like appeals to me at all. Oh yeah, I always hunt for shiny females. A lot of the rejects were males. You know what, fair enough. Again, everyone has what they're looking for. Also, I'm gonna look back over at OBS for a second. Yeah, I definitely need to fix this chat box. It is definitely getting cut off a little too early, a little bit before the top, but that's fine. That's fine. We have time to fix these things. Oh, I got a random shiny Murkrow with a slump mark. See, these marks are also like, I've heard that like Pokemon have these marks, but I've never like looked too into them, because again, it's just one of like those random things. It's sort of like I guess like inflated value. Again, I think we talked about this once before. It's sort of like when Pokemon added in like the different shapes of the sparkles on shiny Pokemon and Sword and Shield, and it's just like, now you're just making people want to shiny hunt for 2 different kinds of Pokemon, like of the same dude, and it's like, okay, I'm good to not do that. Again, I feel like it's just like, again, just my take, but it's just like adding extra little things to inflate the value of the Pokemon so people will spend more time trying to get it, which again, there's nothing wrong with, but you know. Oh, they took out Square Shinies and Scarlet Violet Lamau. Okay, well, but they still have like some stuff like the marks, you know, which I feel like kind of falls into like the same camp of idea, you know, because it's not like those like the marks actually like, as far as I'm aware, to like actually like do anything outside of be like, here's a mark for it. It's just kind of like a collector's thing, and I realized over time I'm not much of a collector. I get the thing that I want, and then I'm good. Like if I ever, I'm not gonna lie, I thought about getting back into Pokemon cards with the Prismatic Evolution set, just because I'm a huge Evolutions fan. Like all of them are like up there in my top 10 favorite Pokemon basically. And the Umbreon card looks so good. But then I realized how bad of an idea that was because of like scalpers and everything like that. But it's like to the point of like, I'm not going in and trying to get all of like the cards in the set. I just want the Umbreon, essentially, you know? The Umbreon and maybe like the Espeon and stuff like that. Like, I'm not really a collector. Like, I don't need to like collect everything in something I'm interested in. I just want to get the few things that I like the most. Imagine not ending Scarlet and Violet with a full team of natural shinies. Wait, that is actually... So I lied. I haven't caught only 4 shinies. I've caught 6. And in 24 years of playing Pokemon, well, you know, give or take a year or 2. And 2 of them were when I was doing a Nuzlocke of Violet, and it was of Tropius and Mightyena. So, but outside of those 2, I think it went from 2015 up until about a year and a half ago. With like in that entire gap, 0 shinies. Destiny Mark is a fun one to hunt though. 1 in 25 chance for every wild Pokemon to have it in your birthday. Is that like, what is, hang on, I might need to look this up. What do you mean have it in your birthday? Destiny Mark. Oh, I have every, so something else I need to do. I was planning to, before stream, before the whole OBS thing happened, make new thumbnails, because I'm currently out, and oh gosh, I know, my thumbnails are so hard to make. I have to like add a whole new number and everything. It's so complicated. But the number for thumbnail today is still number 5, which is what we did last week. So I just had it all caps, like don't look at the thumbnail, don't look at the thumbnail. So I was just typing in all caps, and it was like, oh, hello, I didn't mean to be shouting at you, Google. Available randomly on old Pokemon on the day. Oh, on the day set as your birthday. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Everyone have it in your birthday. Okay. I understand now. See, that one's cool though. That one's actually like a really cool concept, like you said. Also, I like the Giga Chad. But randomly given after a Pokemon finds item in Let's Go mode, make sandwich with the Pokemon personages. In Mesagoza, speak with a person. Automatically attach to any Pokemon caught in 7-star raids. Oh, that one's kind of cool. The Mightiest Mark. Oh, and the Friendship Mark is pretty cool too. Okay, maybe some of these are like actually kind of cool. I did not know about a lot of these. Like I knew about the Mightiest Mark. I didn't know it was from. I knew about like the sandwich one. I didn't know about that. Also, that one's so cute. It looks like a little frog. Oh my gosh, there are so many. There are so many of these things. Anyways. But yeah, no, I had no idea about any of those. By the way, you're interested in the new Pokemon mobile game, right? Are we talking about Pokemon Champions? Because if so, then absolutely. Absolutely. I want to play it so bad. Again, a lot of people recommend filling out your Pokemon Home for it. That's not a bad idea. Thankfully, between 2 separate save files of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I basically have a complete Pokedex of the things that are in Gen 9, at least. Gosh, I do need to get Pokemon Home finally, because like one of the reasons, again, like I just mentioned earlier, one of the reasons I haven't played like the later gens too much is because like I get too sentimental. I'm like, oh, I don't want to restart this file of Pokemon Black. It has all my boys on it. What's gonna happen to them if I reset this game? They're gonna be deleted from history. I can't do that to them. I love them all too much. But with Pokemon Home, I can transfer them up. But like the issue, like before Pokemon Champions was like announced, is that it's like, well, I don't want to just put them into a Pokemon Home to just have them sit there and rot for the rest of the time. What's the point of that? So, but yeah, no, I really do need to be getting on that, don't I? I make a living dex on every game I play now. That's pretty hype. I started like trying to do that in Sword and Shield, but then I just kind of realized like that's kind of a hassle, and like I don't like I'd get to the point of like, oh, I forgot to buy Pokeballs, so like I'll skip this guy and like I'll go to the next town and get more Pokeballs so I can come back and catch them, and then I forget to get more Pokeballs, so then I go to the next route and like not see anyone that I want to get, so I'd be like, okay, I'll just come back to this route 2 with Pokeballs, and then it got to the point of like, well, I don't really feel like going back for them, except for in Scarlet and Violet. This is gonna sound so stupid, I am 1 Pokemon away from completing the Pokedex, and I just simply chose to not. It's a Palafin, because like I completed everything. Then I looked up how to evolve Palafin, like the dolphin into Palafin, and it was like the whole like, oh, you can like connect and everything. And then I realized I don't know if I care too much, because I even had people like offer to like trade me their Palafins to complete it, and I was like, that sounds like too much effort. I don't know. Like there's something, as soon as I got to like Pokemon like 399 out of 400, where all motivation to complete the dex like stopped. Need some help with that? Like honestly, yeah, I'm pretty down. I'm pretty down to get some help with that. Just because like again, it's so stupid that I don't have it complete. Because it's so simple, and I've had people again offer to give me their Palafins, obviously to like trade back to them. But I got hit with like such a big slump of like, no, I'm good. I don't care that much. It's not even worth the 30 seconds it would take for us to trade these Pokemon. I don't care. I turned into like, there was like a week period after I stopped playing, like beat like Scarlet and Violet, where I turned into such a butt about it, which sucked, because I legitimately did put in like an extra like 5-6 hours after beating the main story to go through and complete the Pokedex. And then in the DLCs, those came out, I went through and completed those Pokedexes for the missions and everything. So it's legitimately, I'm 1 Pokemon away from completing it, and I'm just stubborn. There's like something in my heart that says no, but I'm like, we're at the point where I need to do it. I just need to do it. I played Scarlet and Violet all day. I love it so much, Lamau. See, like, I I think I just don't like open world games that much. That was like my main issue with it, is like I just like miss routes. I miss like nice like designed like areas to explore around, because I'm just not like an open world kind of guy. Like it really takes something like amazing to like draw me into an open world, with like Tears of the Kingdom or Elden Ring, something like that. Except I love the Teal Mask DLC and the Indigo Disc. Like those two are some of the most fun I've had playing Pokemon in so long. I don't know what it was. I think they just like I liked like the simple story that was going on. I liked it a lot more than like the main game. I liked the characters introduced. The areas were like a lot cooler to explore. Even if there wasn't like really anything to find in them, I liked how they looked and like felt to explore. Like they're a lot more interesting than like a lot of like kind of like flat deserts or flat plains. Like there's a lot more going on geographically, and I like that a lot. And then Indigo Disc, like just the double battles and the Elite Four there, like so fun, so good. I'm currently trying to get 3 female Hisuian Zorwas via Masuda method. My current egg count is 2,748. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, I got one of the Zorwas already. Only got 2 to go. Did you get it in the span of that conversation, or did you already like have it and you just like mentioned the 3? Because if you got it like in the span of that conversation, that's awesome. Open world games aren't really my thing, but I adore Scarlet and Violet, and I think that's fair. Because like I feel like Pokemon games are also just so vibe-based, you know? Like, sometimes you're just gonna vibe with one more than the other. Like, I don't know what it is about Sword and Shield. Like, I can acknowledge that it's, like, at best, like a 5 out of 10 game. But it just vibes with me in a certain way, and I just like it a lot, so I don't know what it is. Like, I like that game more than most people, and I probably like Scarlet and Violet less than most people, until you get to the DLC. Or, like, Area Zero. As soon as you, like, get to Area Zero, I'm so down with it. I love that like so much. I wish that they expanded on it more than they did in the DLCs. I was like, the only thing I was disappointed in by the DLCs was that Area Zero only got like a little bit more expanded on, and that was kind of it. But like I really enjoy, again, like Area Zero. The DLCs are so fun. I love them. Like I heard a lot of people like bashing on the Teal Mask, and then playing it like months after it came out. I was like, what are people hating on? This is so much fun. Oh my gosh. I'm still at school now. I got that months ago. Okay. Fair. What, you just don't take your Switch to school to play during class? Come on. Zora has the same gender ratio as starters, EVs, fossils, which is 1 female for every 7 males. Oh no. So you're just trying to get like... I'm like, obviously I'm pretty sure there are like worse... Are there worse gender ratios than that? Like stuff like Combee and like Salandit and stuff like that. But like, you're trying to go for like the rarest shinies you could go for, basically. So good luck with that. Is there a reason why you're trying to get 3? Is it just for like having like different marks on them, that kind of thing? I have 11 male shiny Hisuian Zorwas. Do you want one? I'd be so down to take one. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I would love that, because I do love Zorua. Like Hisuian Zorua is one of my favorite Pokemons, and their shinies are so good. I love them. But that just reminded me. I actually tried... Oh, they're for a friend, Lamau. Oh, okay. Fair. That also makes sense. Also just so nice of you to do that. That's awesome. Not even for me. Yeah, no, that's an awesome thing to do. Just because, again, like how long it's taking, that's incredible. But like I tried shiny hunting one time in this game, doing like the Masuda method, like the eggs and everything. And it is just, I think I hatched like 300, 400 something EVs when, oh my gosh, I think I've wasted like a couple weeks on this and I haven't gotten one shiny. I think I hate this. That's the only time I've ever tried shiny hunting. I kind of like just blocked it out of my mind. I just remembered like the memories of like going to the sandwich shop, getting the sandwiches, setting up the stuff, having a flame body, a Talonflame in my party, like hatch the eggs faster as I rode around on Miraidon. It is, I have the patience and good egg luck. The way it's handled in Scarlet and Violet is great mental fidgeting. No, it like, it for sure is. I just like find myself like not only do I not have good egg luck, I don't really, okay, I think we've talked about this before on here, but if there's something that can go wrong in a video game or anything that's like luck based for me, I will fail it 9 out of 10 times, no matter what the odds are. So like gacha games are terrible for me because I have the worst luck. I love them. I'm addicted. I still play Fate Grand Order basically every day. But boy, actually, you know what? Fate Grand Order was a bad example. That is the only gacha game I have good luck in. I will do a multi or two on per banner, get my person, and then I'll step out. Every other gacha game, though, I like almost always go to pity on everything ever. But yeah, no, like just yeah, exactly, low IRL luck stat. My Murphy's Law, exactly. I think if I had a superpower, it would just be Murphy's Law. Because again, if it can go wrong for me, it will go wrong for me. And it's like not like too bad of a thing. It's like whatever. It's like it's gotten to the point of like if something unlucky happens in one of my friends' day, they say that they pulled a me, and it hurts my heart so bad. Or if we're playing like D&D, since I'm the DM, I've inflated the enemy stats by so much because I choose to never smudge rolls because I think it's like more authentic. Like I don't mind if people do smudge rolls if they're DMing, if they think it'll like add to the story, like make a better moment. But for me, I'm like, no, I can't. But yes, does this enemy have a plus 15 to everything? And they will fail every single roll I do. Absolutely, yes, for sure, 100%. And so now whenever anyone rolls below like a 5, they can say that it's a me moment too, just because like, that's the thing. I'll go an entire night and roll below a 10 for like a 4 or 5 hour session. That's how I go. Me trying to get Summer Fran back in the day, but the 3 Summer Neros instead. See, that is terrible. It does like, it's one of those things like in like Dokkan, it's a Dragon Ball gacha game. The feeling of when you get every character on the banner instead. I was trying to think because there was a time that happened to me in FGO where it was like one of the few times, like, because you know everyone gets shafted eventually. It was one of the few shafts. I'm trying to think of who I was going for. Oh, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I was going for the 4-star on the banner, and I ended up pulling several of the 5-star. Yeah, Summer Fan is a 4-star, Nero's a 5-star. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I'm very familiar with the 5-star Nero. Because I pulled her a lot. I think I pulled her on the same banner as the Summer Fran years ago, and I think I pulled like 2 of her on that same banner, the Summer Nero. She's so good. She was like carried me through so much of like the early and mid game of FGO, like through like a lot of like the early singularities. She's so good. But yeah, no, it obviously like happens to everyone eventually, but like that is also unfortunately going for like a different character and pulling the one who you don't want. Does it happen to everyone? I think it definitely does happen to everyone eventually, but you know, I got NP5 Fran a year later after saving up 1,240 quartz. You went so hard at that. I'm as gay as I am committed to my favorites. That's so based. See, I always tell myself, oh, I'm going to save for a long time. And then I see a banner and I'm like, well, I don't have Summer Nitocrest yet. I could just throw a multi at her. Don't bring up Evelyn. No, I don't have Evelyn. Yes, I'm almost at the second pity. I've only pulled one S rank character. You don't have to do that to me. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic. But no, I do not have Evelyn yet. But yeah, no. Whenever I tell myself I'm gonna save, I'll save up like a couple hundred. Then I'll throw a few multis at a banner here and a full multis at a banner here. But it is always like dupes, because I was like, man, I really should like dupe up my archetype Earth, you know, because she's really strong. I love her design, like her kit and everything. I should really power her up. I got the first copy of her in like 2 multis, and then it took another like 10 to get a second. Then I did like another like 10-ish, I think, without getting anything else. Are you familiar with Genshin? I don't play it anymore, but I got another display of insane luck. I'm like slightly familiar. I played it on stream a while ago before my hands got hurt, and I haven't played it since, so it's been about a year and a half, but I'm like fairly familiar with it because I have like gotten into like ZZZ over the past little while, and I've actually recently started Honkai Star Rail like 2 days ago, so I'm like decently familiar with like Mihoyo stuff. C2 Kazuha and Kiki and 130 Wishes. Hang on. I want to look up who Kazuha is. They sound familiar. That sounds familiar. Kazuha. Oh yeah, no, I know this guy. Yeah. But that is actually crazy, especially like considering the luck that we just talked about that I'm having with Evelyn, where I've gone 100 and I think 60, and I've only pulled a single S character. And it's not like, listen, I've pulled so many Nicoles. I've pulled so many Nicoles off that banner. She's the only A rank character that I'm getting, and I want to pull my hair out. It is infuriating. So I've pulled basically 2 different characters, and that is it, in 160 or 150 pulls, however many I've done. It is not a good time. But yeah, that is like my average like gotcha luck, is doing a ridiculous amount to get one character. It's only an FGO. That is why FGO will always be my #1 favorite. Outside of just being a huge Fate fan, like FGO will always be my #1 game, because it's the only one that knows how to treat me right, you know? And you gotta stick with the people who know how to treat you right. You know how it is? Farina is so friggin' pretty, and I'm so friggin' gay. Lol, agreed. Stop playing back during the first Hu Tao rerun banner because the game tried to kill my laptop. Oh, Genshin. My brain was like switched back to FGO, and I was like, that's not a Fate character. But yeah, no, that's because like, dude, MiHoYo games, as pretty and as spectacular as they are a heavy, like take a heavy toll on your PC, on your CPU. It is insane, like how intensive, like not only like how intensive they are, but those games are huge. Like basically, like I think most of my PlayStation is being taken up by Honkai Star Rail. They are massive. So yeah, no, I understand why you'd have to stop playing it like that, because that's a lot. Listen, bro, you just gotta manifest a pull on the first or second. I've tried manifesting. So many people have told me to try manifesting things in life, and I try so hard, and it simply doesn't work. Except for Fate, where I'll just like, again, pull it up, click to summon, and then look, I just pulled, dude, the craziest thing. I think it was Ruler Artoria. I think I pulled 2 of her in the second multi. It's insane. It's insane. Like I have all like most of my summons recorded and up on my other channel, but like I have to like end up like embellishing them, like stretching them out a little bit, because I'm like, oh no, this is only gonna be a 2-minute video because I pulled the character in the first or second multi. So that's a little rough. Also, back when I played FGO, I had all 4 language versions. That's insane, because like as much as I love FGO, it's so grindy. Like I thought of doing like a new account to do like a let's play on my other channel, just because I'm like, oh, I think it'd be a lot of fun to just like go through and actually like re-experience the story, and like have like an easy thing for people to like just turn on the background like an audiobook. Like that'd be really cool. Just because like there's so much story in FGO, especially like in the later chapters. But like I didn't, because it's so grindy. If you want to get your characters powered up, it's so much grinding. I played them all actively. I can't even imagine me getting Abby and Scotty in under 10 pulls each. Exactly. Oh my gosh, it was actually Ruler Scotty, who again I did a full video for her, and I pulled her I think in the first multi. And wait, you have an idea? What is your idea? What is your amazing idea? Because it sounds amazing with how excited you are about it. And then after that idea, we should probably get into the game, because we have been going for approximately 38 minutes and 20 seconds. So we should probably hop into the game, especially if we're actually going to finish Millie's rep tonight. I really wanted to have an account for a no summon challenge, but since FGO wasn't available in Mexico, I could never get to it. Oh, wait, like, when you say like a no summon challenge, would that include like the friend point summons? Because I was gonna say, also, it started raining and there's no roof above. There's no roof above you? That is tragic. I'm so sorry. It is also storming out here a little bit. And it is intense, so like, I am so sorry, because that sucks. Like, I love the rain. But if you don't have any protection from it, it sucks. Like, I'm thankful to have a huge raincoat that keeps me 100% dry, but if you don't have that, it's just tragic. But yeah, no, like, doing, like a challenge like that where you just use, like, the friend point servants, that could be really cool. But I think if you like aren't doing like any like summons at all, then and you just have like Mash and the friend, that would like, I feel like that'd be like almost impossible, if not just impossible. Granted, until okay, tiny little tangent. But like one of my biggest gripes with the game is that once you get like, okay, I love the story of Lost Belt 5. Need fresh visuals. I got your. Sorry, Brooklyn. We have rules against like promoting yourselves in these unless like I've asked for it and it's warranted. So like just as a warning, like don't do that in the future. Just not using Saint Core. Oh yeah, there's also like all the welfare servants. Yeah, no. My idea was just the ones given by the game and events. Yeah. Honestly, just using like all the free-to-play servants, like just the ones from events, like you could like get through like the entire game. Because like, again, not to keep glazing FGO, my favorite gacha game, but like they have like the best free-to-play units like out there. Like for a long time, Summer Jalter and Summer Ishtar were like basically my two strongest servants, because having them at like NP5 just like puts them like so far ahead the rest of like the game essentially, like at the beginning. It's like they're just so strong, they're so useful. Like, and like other gacha games, it'll be like, yeah, this like free-to-play unit sucks. What'd you expect? They're free. And it's like, well, no, but I play this other really cool game where like free-to-play units carried me through it for a long time and even hold up in modern content like years later. Summer Ishtar was my first level 100 servant. That's such a good pick though. That's such a good pick because she's so good. She's like, I don't know, just like you slap on like NP5 to like any like AoE servant and it's like, hey, guess what like 90% of the story content is AoE fights outside of a couple bosses. So like she just steamrolls you through the game. Also, she's Rin essentially, so like how could you go wrong there? I think my first level 100 was, I'm a huge Saber Alter simp, so I had to level 100 her. I think she's I don't have her at 120 yet. I want to get her to 120, but I don't. But she's my highest bond servant at like, I think she's halfway to getting 15. Like she's halfway, like she spawned 14, halfway to 15. So there's not, oh, thank you so much, Plastics. Thank you so much for the thing. Like I have, she's so, she definitely gets special privilege over all the other servants. Summerfan MP spam looping with Scotty and Castoria was so good. See, I've actually never played too much with Summer Fran, but you throw in Scotty and Castoria, and I'm like, you know what? No, you're right. Whatever Fran does, she does it, and Waver. See, that's the thing. I love the support units. Like, I'll just do like the dumbest like setups. Like, I'll do like Proto Merlin, Castoria, and like just be like, hey, half of this fight, I'm gonna be invincible. You can't touch me. Sure, we're gonna be here for a while, but I'll win this eventually, because you can't do anything about it. Just like setting up like anyone with like supports is always like a good time, just having like two supports on either side. Or if you want to use the plug suit and you could switch out for another support unit, like you can just do such like dumb crazy things. Summer Fan is a single target, but she's so strong. See, and that, like, I think they do a great job of like balancing like the damage on single targets as opposed to AoE, so like the single targets actually feel like really valid to use. So it's like, especially if it's like ever like a one-phase fight, if you ever need to grind like a one-phase fight or get through a one-phase boss, again, your setup sounds like it would do incredible. So it works so well. Because like, listen, I'm simple. I like to see high number. I like to see big number go wow. That's why, like, listen, you put the coin Skyaz with Orion, and suddenly all of his Buster cards are doing like 300 to 400k a piece, and it just sets off the serotonin in my brain. But anyways, the one FGO rant I have before we actually get into the game, because we do need to be starting it soon, because I could talk about FGO literally all night, and I kind of want to, but we have a game to play. Is that, again, Lost Belt 5 and 6, I love the stories. Like Lost Belt 5, Britain is like my favorite like story in FGO so far, and like it's so good, it's so great, except the gameplay. The gameplay is not great because I'm so sick of like 80% of the fights being, here's an entire team built for you. You can add one dude to this. I can speak so well tonight. Oh my gosh, I'm doing so good. You can only add one of your own servants to this fight, and that is it. And it's like, but I want to play with the dudes that I built up. How am I supposed to boost their bonds if you're not actually letting me use all of them? And like, Lost Belt 6 has been a lot of the same thing. Like, I haven't even finished it just because I'm like, I'm kind of sick of like not being able to play with my own guys, you know? Meanwhile, a friend made it his duty to beat every max difficulty map with Bunya and Angra. Oh my gosh, Angra is my white whale. I don't have him. I've listen, I've set up one of like the things that like auto like summons, and I've gone from like 800,000 friend points to 0 without a single copy of him. It is, it's so annoying. I want him so bad, just because I don't have him. And he looks so cool. And like, see, FGO is one of the few games where I'm like, I kind of do want to get like as many of the guys as I can get. Especially because it actually feels more feasible than most things. And I can't get him no matter what I do. I've been trying ever since I started playing. I got him to NP2, I believe. See, and that's crazy. That's crazy because he's a friend point character. But yet he is the rarest character in the entire game to have. Because I don't, like, whatever is wrong with his rates are simply too low. You want to say my transfer code? I don't plan to play again. Sure, yeah, I can. If you want to like DM me that on Discord, I can save that for you. Wait, hang on. What do you mean you don't plan to play again? You don't plan to keep playing FGO, the best gacha game of all time? Heck, I just realized what you meant by that. What do you mean? But yeah, no, I can also hold on to it for you whenever if you ever do want it back. Absolutely. Because I think yawn. Hey, listen, I don't want to hear that from the guy who mains 7 Deadly Sins, all right? All right? The game that no one plays anymore. Sorry, that was mean. That was so mean. But like, I don't know. The FGO goes pretty hard. I haven't played in literal years, Lamau. But FGO's so good. Don't talk to me. I just don't play gacha games anymore. Better for the mental. Yeah, I definitely agree to that to an extent. Like, I only play the ones if I actually like genuinely enjoy the gameplay. Like, I don't do it for like the gambling aspect, I guess. Like with FGO, if I didn't like the gameplay and didn't like the story, I wouldn't play it at all. But then like they're like, and again, as soon as like I stop enjoying playing a gacha, it's so easy for me just to drop it. Like, with Dokkan, I was getting really close to like dropping that until like the 10th anniversary just happened, and it's been so fun. I feel like they're going about like a lot of things in a lot of great ways where I feel like they haven't for a long time. So I was like getting so close to like dropping it. But I honestly, I do feel like not playing gachas, especially as many as I do. I enjoy too many. I play too many gacha games. It is probably better for your mental. I play SDS. See, I'm not alone. Okay, listen, it's not a bad game, but when you're over here trying to diss FGO, you just gotta look in the mirror a little bit, all right? All right? Even the 7 Deadly Sins YouTubers don't play 7 Deadly Sins anymore. I played ZZZ until my GPU died. And I think, like, MiHoYo games are, like, in a very weird spot where it's, like, they're, like, real games just with gacha aspects, but then they also do, like, some annoying gacha stuff where of, like, adding in, like, a lot of filler stuff between, like, chapters, or, like, trying to, like, really stretch out, like, the content so then you don't like get as many like of the resources to summon with, especially in like stuff like Genshin Impact, where it'll be like, hey, you did a mission that got you some primos, now go talk to these 15 dudes who tell you absolutely nothing, and it takes like an hour and a half, and then you can get to the next story mission because they're really trying to like play up that like playtime that you have. As a guy that plays Genshin, it's more of an audiobook. Yeah, and it's not even like that good of an audiobook, because like, well, I feel like when the cutscenes are important, they're like really good, but like they again fluff it up so much with like so many like cutscenes and like little conversations that don't really mean anything, just to again make sure you're playing for longer, essentially. So they're like real games that have like gacha isms in there, so it's weird. I feel like, at least for like my experience, I feel like ZZZ goes about it like decently well. Like there's definitely like some fluff in it, like trying to do like the fishing event, and it's like, man, between every round of fishing, I have to do like 15 conversations with these people, it's like, oh, that's kind of annoying. That's a little not fun. But anyways, with all the gacha talk out of the way, who's ready to actually get back into this? Who's ready to see if we can finish this tonight? ZZ is definitely more game than gacha. Yeah, especially since, like, I don't know, they give out so much of the stuff for free, and it's so free to play friendly. It's hard to think of it as, like, I don't know, as predatory as most gacha games are. Because, like, the fact that I've been able to do, like, 160, 150 summons on Evelyn just on the content that's come out recently is, like, kind of insane. So, like, again, it's so free to play friendly that it just feels like you're playing just, like, a normal game that you sometimes just summon to get more playable characters for. But anyways. Also, Tracy, I think you said, like, we had, like, what, like, an hour and a half-ish left in this? Is that correct? And you literally don't have to summon to play the story. Yeah, there's, like... Because they always just, like, provide you characters. Like, at the beginning of the game, you aren't provided characters for a little bit. But at a certain point, you just start playing as, like, all the story-based characters. So it's, like, it just feels more like a real game, I think. So, yeah, cool. So, yeah, even though we did, like, an hour-long talk, we can definitely still finish this tonight. Because, listen, I was made a liar. I titled both streams on YouTube and on Twitch of Undertale last week, "We're finishing the first route tonight." And I'm going to have to go back and rename those as, haha, I lied, actually finishing it this next week, because we got so close. We got so close, but yet so far. Yeah, let's go ahead and... I haven't changed screens. I'm so used to not being on... I'm used to only being on the gaming screen that I'm not used to actually having to think about changing screens. I almost just started playing without doing any of that. Look at us go. Killing it out here. All right, yeah, anyways, now we can get into it. Days like this have started to feel normal, almost mundane. With club meetings no longer taking up our evenings, Millie sits on the couch and chips away at a novel she picked up from the library, while I prepare our dinner after a typical day of classes.
Tortilla soup for dinner tonight. How much chili powder am I adding?
Oh, dude, like... If you need to get me, soups is the way to do it. My family knows this so well. It is, whenever they ask me what I want, tortilla soup or like taco soup, stuff like that is the only thing I ask for.
None whatsoever, thanks.
Oh, that's boring. It's hard not to laugh at her flat dismissal from across the room, not even missing a beat. I sprinkle in the bare minimum I can to prevent it from tasting entirely flat. I can only hope she'll forgive me later. As I stir away, the quiet both of us have been enjoying is interrupted by my phone ringing on the counter. I scoop it up with my free hand, eyeing the sender's name with some amount of surprise.
It's Haley.
Yes, let's go! Let's go! That's enough to get Millie's attention in earnest, closing her book and making her way to my side, intent on listening in. Once she's situated to her liking, I press the button and let the call through. Hey, oh, hello, Spake. How's it going? What's up? Not much. We're just here to finish this route of TwoFold tonight. And I'm looking forward to it, but also very scared because I know that I'm going to be missing Millie when we start the next route. But yeah, no, it's been a pretty good day so far. How about you? How are you doing?
Haley, been a minute.
Hi, Haley.
Hey, sorry if this is sudden. I've been trying not to pry.
Her pace is noticeably faster than her typical lethargic delivery.
I haven't seen much of Millie since the holidays, and neither of them have talked to me about it. I know it's not technically my business, but I can't stand being in the dark about this any longer.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about Haley used to live with Millie, and then suddenly she just stopped showing up at home. Yeah, someone probably should have told her a lot sooner. I glance at my girlfriend. The guilt in her face makes it obvious enough that she's caught that.
She's fine if that's what you wanted to know. It's not really my place to talk about their home life if they haven't, though.
I understand.
Send you my account transfer code. Hi, Haley. We have to say hi to Haley every time. She deserves it. Also, thank you. I will make sure to get that saved later, after the stream. She's given up on trying to keep her tone subtle, the mounting frustration becoming all too obvious.
Have you tried talking to Millie about this at all?
Oh no, is Haley about to out the fact that she's been trying to reach out to Millie for a long time? I can make out an unamused snort on the other end.
As if she's actually spoken to me in forever.
Oh. There's a silence over the phone that's impossible for me to fully read.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking about her like that. Least of all to you. Forget I even called.
It's okay.
The beep of the call ending interrupts me before I can get the chance to finish. I bring the phone down from my ear and briefly inspect the screen to make sure I didn't accidentally hang up on her somehow. Nope, just her. A small, unexpected laugh from Millie pulls my eyes upward again. She shakes her head and waves. The smile on her face doesn't reach her eyes, but it isn't entirely sad either. A silent display of acceptance and remorse all at once.
I was just realizing how right she was. I've been giving both of them the cold shoulder for too long.
She takes a step closer and stirs the soup I had been preparing for us, making me just realize I had been leaving it unattended during the call.
Are you okay with taking a drive tonight?
Oh, are we actually gonna go visit Haley? It's so sad. I put Haley in the last notification and she wasn't there, and then I don't put her in this one and now she's back. But you know, I'm glad that she is here. I hope the code still works. I generated it before the pandemic. Okay, yeah, I can definitely download FGO onto a tablet or something and try it there just to see if it works. I can do that for sure. I'm pretty good, but this last day has been tough. I thought the cancer might have very stressed out, but after doing some research, found that it's only a scarf. Oh, that is so good. Oh, and she had to take out on the cancer. Better now that it was. I'm so sorry that he had to go through all that stress. Anything to do with your pets, especially them being sick and having to stress about that kind of stuff is takes a huge toll on you. So I'm glad that your worries are now more at ease now that it wasn't cancer or anything like that. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, but I'm glad that you're doing better now, and I hope that things just keep getting better for you, because that sounds rough and it sounds like you deserve some good stuff to happen. Millie shuffles into her former apartment with me, following as close as I can, shutting the door behind us as we make our way inside from the cold. Haley's loitering around in the living area, not doing anything in particular outside of waiting for us to arrive, it seems. Millie called her back not long after our earlier conversation, finally ready to talk things out. As part of Millie's impromptu peace talks, I have a couple Tupperware containers worth of soup for Haley and Caprice. Haley's portion has her names written on the side. I added a little extra kick to it based on what I know of her preferences. Haley gives me a curious look as I carefully set them down on the counter.
Thought you might appreciate an actual dinner. No chance they're already frozen over, but a couple minutes in the microwave won't hurt.
Thanks.
It's the least we can do after all the stress I've been causing you lately.
Millie takes a breath before continuing.
Is Caprice going to be okay with leaving her room? I'd like to talk to both of you, if possible.
Millie waits for a response, but only silence follows. After sitting in the awkward silence for a second too long, Millie leans to look past her friend down into the hall.
Well, I'll go ask her directly then.
You're free to mess around with my account, by the by. Just show me if you do anything, because I still put a lot of hours into that thing. Well, oh, absolutely. I think definitely... I do want to poke around on it. It's usually everything you did. Treat it as if it was yours, basically. I'm so down for that. Especially since, again, you already put so much time into it, I don't have to grind up all the characters from zero, so I'm super down to do that. I'm curious as to what you'll think about my level 100 picks. Ooh, yeah, that's the main thing that I was thinking about. I'm really curious to see who you did that for, because I think it says a lot about you, on who you like, depending on who you level 100. Because I very rarely level 100 people who are just for the gameplay. It has to be a character I like. I think when I do that, I'll probably send you mine just so you can a screenshot of who I have, just so that you can see who I picked too, because that'd be fun. Also, likely banned, evade, restricted. Best viewers. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. Did that pop up for you guys? No, it didn't pop up for you guys. Oh my gosh. Is the thing working? I added more restrictions to the stuff. So then it's harder for the bots to get through, and I think it worked because it doesn't look like it popped up for you guys. Hang on, let me... Oh my gosh, I don't have Twitch pulled up on my computer. Hang on, gotta pull that up just so I can see it. Wait, is it popping up for you guys? Hang on, let me pull that stuff up. Channel. Ah, why are you unmuted? Gross, disgusting. I don't want to hear my own voice. Nasty. Get out of here. Oh. Things have changed on my end. I haven't actually looked at this page. Weird. Things are different now. I'm on mobile. I can't see mod stuff. No, but you should be good though. It doesn't look like it actually like popped up. So we should be good. I was even more scared when I saw the scar appeared literally from nowhere. I mean, 1 second it was there, and the next it was pretty big, so I completely freaked out. My mind started going wild. But the vet, which is my sister of a friend of mine, told me it can happen randomly after surgery. It can never happen or in 9 months or 2 weeks. So yeah, that again, that's really good to hear. I'm so happy that like your dog's doing okay. Because again, like your pets really do just like feel like family. Like, and whenever like they're going through something like that, where you're like scared for like their well-being, it puts such a toll on you. So I'm glad that like your dog's doing better. By the way, you can use the computer vision on Google and use the PC options. That I didn't know that was a thing. I'm also on the street. I want to be home first. No, that's fair. You gotta do what you gotta do to take care of yourself. Well, let me get back over to the YouTube side of things. There we go. Well, she said that part. I don't need to read her dialogue. Millie does that for me. Millie speaks in a hushed tone, not wanting the subject of her discussion to be bothered. It's loud enough for Haley to hear, though, and her eyes immediately snap back to Millie.
Caprice isn't here.
Huh?
Millie's eyes couldn't widen any more than they widen now. The various little things she wanted to discuss leave her mind, replaced only by a single question.
What do you mean she's not here?
I mean, she's not here. I don't know what part of that is open to interpretation.
Millie, I mean, sometimes she could just be out at night. She doesn't always have to hang out at home. Millie's inner peace that she spent the last couple of weeks nursing and restoring shatters in an instant, eyes darting back and forth while she tries to formulate her words.
I mean, where is she? Do you know? Why didn't you say anything?
Did we even tell Haley that we were coming over? Haley's eyes narrow and her features tug downwards. I reach for Millie's hand in instinct to both try and calm her down as well just remind her I'm still there.
Her mom's place. I thought the total lack of communication is why you came here. When have you given me a chance to tell you anything?
That's not an unfair thing to say.
Charlie's good.
The back half of Haley's statement didn't even make it to Millie's train of thought, likely for the best.
Sorry to drag you around town, Olive, but we're going to pay her a visit. Haley, would you come with? We'll talk more late.
Wait. Slow down a sec. Take a breath. Trying to corner her without warning won't do anyone any good right now.
She practically jumps out of her skin as I interrupt her stream of thoughts. She pauses and forces herself to inhale, trying her best to collect herself again. After an exhale, instead of addressing either of us, she instead reaches into her coat for her phone. She dials someone up and puts it on speaker as it rings, pacing back and forth as Haley and I watch on.
Millie?
Wallace, hi. I wanted to ask about Caprice, if you don't mind.
Wallace mentioned, the goat, he's here. His voice is here.
I've actually been meaning to ask you about her myself. Now's as good a time as any to trade notes.
Ask me about what?
Oh, well, just wondering how things have been. None of us have seen her for a while.
Oh.
How long is a while?
We had a meeting right before the semester started up again, but she got up and left abruptly. That's the last we've heard from her.
Before the semester started? So, a matter of weeks?
Evil and intimidating horse on the phone. You know, you've hit me with that meme a few times, and I've even seen the meme around a little bit. And it's one of those, I think I'm getting too old for the internet. I don't understand what the joke is. Thanks, sir. I appreciate your concern for my dog. The worst part of everything that is, I went with my mom and showed her the scar, and she was like, and said, I knew this was gonna happen. In Spanish, obviously, with the most poker face in the world. And I was like, what the Yeah. No, I think that's a fair reaction. But yeah, no, of course. Like, again, that stuff just all sucks, and it's all so rough. Especially if you're being hit with like Blank face, I knew this would happen. Lamau, the joke is that it's just random. Oh, okay, that's fair enough. That does make sense in the context of all the memes that I've seen, is that it's just random. That's fair.
Yeah. Hasn't called any meetings. Hell, hasn't even responded when we got together and invited her ourselves. Eileen, of all people, is getting worried at this point.
Millie's pacing stops, her back turned to us.
I see.
You know if she's okay? Figure you'd know better than any of us.
I really wish that were true. She's safe, at least. I'll let you know once I hear anything past that.
Okay. Make sure you look after yourself, too. Later, Mills.
And like that, the goat was gone. So sad. With a blip, Wallace is gone. Millie stands in place long after he hangs up, not even finding the willpower to turn around.
Has she been gone all this time?
Yeah, that more or less matches up with when she left.
Millie finally turns around, dragging her feet back over to us, before eventually burying her face in her hands and speaking through them.
I'm so sorry. I never meant to leave you alone all this time.
Wait, yeah, no, that just makes it way worse from Haley's perspective. One moment she goes from having 2 roommates to 1, and then not long after that, the other one also just vanishes on her. That's awful.
I didn't realize... I didn't even give you a chance to tell me what with my behavior. I didn't even text. I'm so sorry.
Hey, come on. This isn't about me.
Millie looks up from her hands, the stress on her face plain.
It's about you as much as anyone else. Both of us have put so much on you, and I was just off living blissful ignorance while you two were suffering alone. I can't say enough, Haley. God, Caprice.
Haley sighs. Something how simple it is seems to register in Millie's head as a way to say, okay, slow down. Most things about Haley do, really.
You're here now, right?
Aww. She's crying all over Haley's headphones. She steps forward and embraces her friend as Millie's tears start in earnest. I gently take a step closer, rubbing her back alongside Haley's hug.
You needed some time to get to this point.
Yeah.
The 3 of us stay there until Millie's cries turn to sniffles, then eventually back to a calm silence.
I'll do my best to fix things. The right way.
That's all I ever wanted from you two.
Haley smiles, totally unrestrained, no longer trying to hide her emotions as it grows ever wider across her face.
Remember that Caprice deserves a hug like this too.
I will. Of course I will.
Luckily enough, my friend did have concern for my dog, and with that got the help of that friend I talked about. Okay, that's good. That's good that you didn't have to go through all that by yourself. Millie and I sit together on the couch. Millie lost in a book while I try my best to enjoy the quiet atmosphere with her. At this point, it's nothing out of the ordinary from how we've been spending our evenings. Except this isn't our couch, and her book isn't the usual mystery novel. She's buried herself in its pages, her face hidden by the cover, the now all too familiar shooting star. I'm not sure if it's to frantically search for an answer to some unspoken question or merely to distract herself from our situation. Probably some mix of the two. Almost as soon as we get back home from visiting Haley, Millie started making calls, first to her dad, and then after Caprice refused to pick up, to Charlie. A simple request, to try again, to speak honestly and openly, leaving nothing on the table. Not really a complex plan, but it was enough to win the two over. Not that I doubt they'd have accepted anyway. The only uncertainty left is Caprice, but Charlie assured Millie she'd do her best to bring her along. The Clark house is exactly how I remembered leaving it. Stressful silence included. The tree's still up. I guess Mike hasn't had the time, motivation, to tear it down yet. Mike's off in the kitchen working on something or another, faint chopping sounds being the only other noise in the large house. Also, just like Freudian slipping, putting Millie's name in there. I just realized that it's Mike and Millie, and then Charlie and Caprice. I didn't even realize that they just had the same letters in the family. 3 knocks on the door breaks us all from our respective trances. I look behind me to watch as Mike makes his way up to the front of the house, then turn back once Millie's hands find mine, giving it a tight squeeze. She doesn't make eye contact, still hiding most of her face behind her now-closed journal. Mike wordlessly opens the door, revealing Charlie. Just Charlie. Mike instinctively leans in for a hug, but thinks better of it. Millie wears a difficult expression as he quickly pulls himself back upright.
Make yourself comfortable. Won't be a sec.
It feels like it's been hours since I last heard someone speak, to the point where I actually jump a little as he addresses her. She responds with a nod as she takes off her coat, prompting him to retreat back to the kitchen while she makes her way towards us.
Hey, you two. Been a while.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I right myself and try my best to put on a natural-looking smile. I can't do much, but I can at least do my part to make sure the atmosphere starts off okay.
It's good to see you again, ma'am. I didn't know you worked at the aquarium.
She briefly gives me a confused look before glancing down and recognizing the source of my clairvoyance.
Been a tour guide for just over 20 years now, actually. I can tell you just about anything you need to know about the creatures of the deep, so long as I'm given a script to memorize a week or two beforehand.
And Spike, I'm so, especially like reading that your dog had like the slimmest chances of survival. That's like even more of a miracle that your dog's still with us. So like that, and it makes sense like even more so like why it coming back would be more stressful because of like how little of the chance it was of your dog making through it the first time. So like that does make more sense. And again, really, really glad your dog's okay. So back home, I can't see the likely Banivator. Yeah, again, I think that just popped up on my end. I think the things that I put in place to keep the bots away, they're working. They're doing their thing. And I'm like so thankful for that.
Wow. You must really like fish.
She gives me a laugh, sincere though small.
That's always been more Caprice's thing. I actually thought about looking for another job, but it was enough for Caprice and I, and she always loved visiting.
The smile she briefly had while recounting her job sparks something in her, and her gloomy expression returns just as quickly as it had faded as she turns to Millie.
Hey, sorry. I tried to get her to join us. She said she would and join me when I left for work today.
No longer able to avoid the conversation, Millie finally looks up, meeting Charlie's eyes, just in time for Charlie to avert hers.
When I clocked out and told her we were leaving, she said she didn't feel up to it after all and stayed behind.
She's still at the aquarium?
Yeah, probably. I told her to call me when she wanted a ride back home.
Millie doesn't respond verbally, her growing frown doing enough speaking for her. And so the conversation ends, the home returning to relative silence, broken up only by Mike shuffling about in the other room.
You should sit down.
Charlie initially meets her with shock before donning an awkward half-smile.
Don't worry about me. I appreciate it, though.
Oh, are we gonna have to go through 2 separate, like, emotional climaxes? First with the parents, then we're gonna have to go find Caprice at the aquarium and do one there. Is that how this is gonna go? Millie protests in her own silent way, inching herself closer to me and patting the cushion next to her. Out of ways to reject the offer, Charlie finally accepts, finding her place next to Millie. Thankfully, it's not long before Mike joins us, placing a couple small fruit bowls on the table in front of us.
Just something light for now. I was hoping we'd have the chance to go to a proper dinner after this.
Neither Millie nor Charlie acknowledge his suggestion for the evening, doing his best to shake off the awkwardness of it. He takes his seat next to Charlie, grabbing an orange slice for himself in the process.
So, Mills, we're listening. Whenever you're ready.
That gets a reaction out of her. Millie's grip on my hand tightening as her name comes up. The silence drags on. Millie maintains my hand in hers, biting her bottom lip as she struggles to start. She looks towards me nervously. I give her a nod. And shake her hand in mine.
Go ahead. I'm here.
Deep breath. We exhale together. Millie focuses her eyes down on the floor as she takes to her feet.
I'm scared.
That was enough to train all of the eyes in the room on her. I match her squeeze with one of my own to remind her I'm there, which gives her just enough willpower to push on.
I've been thinking about and rehearsing everything I've wanted to say all day, and the more I do, the more it all sounds silly and irrational. I know I'm in the wrong for a lot of things. Maybe even all of them. I think that's how I'd see it if I were in your shoes anyway.
I don't think this is a right and wrong kind of situation. I guarantee I'm not gonna love you any less over what you have to say.
It doesn't matter if it's silly or irrational if that's how you really feel. That's all we've ever cared about.
It takes a minute, but Millie holds on me. But Millie's hold on me eventually loosens. She uses her now free hand to open her journal to one of the severed pages she had bookmarked this morning.
If you're ever feeling lost, always know that Dad will be there to lend you an ear. And if for whatever reason he isn't, I'm sure Charlie will be. If nothing else, please remember that you'll never be alone. Mom left all of this advice, all these instructions to me, and I've clung to every word. But there's so many questions left unanswered. I didn't know where to turn when you two weren't an option.
You can always come to...
No, I couldn't. Not this time.
The sternness of her reply could have easily been mistaken for frustration, but thankfully it fades as she allows herself a breath to refocus her thoughts.
I wanted to be happy for you two. I am. But dropping the news on us out of the blue that you started dating, and letting Caprice break the news for you that you were making things official, there was never enough time to process anything.
I'm sorry, Millie. That was never supposed to be how you found out.
I know, I don't blame you, or her, not anymore. But it doesn't change the fact that it made approaching any of you about this feel impossible. How could I when the three of you were so happy?
I understand. We never wanted to exclude you, sweetheart. I'm sorry we made you feel so alone.
I'm glad you were able to find Olive at least. Even if you felt that way about us, your dad and I were happy to hear you found someone you could lean on.
Millie gives me a glance, a silent request to admit what she can't.
We only started dating recently.
Well, obviously.
Is this gonna be a thing of like everyone's been seeing through our lives this entire time? That was the last long message. Sorry again. Oh no, you're so fine. You're so fine to send like, especially since that's how I message most people anyways, like with these long paragraphs. You're so fine to be sending all this kind of stuff. But yeah, no, don't worry about like being annoying or anything. You're fine. I'm just kind of reading like the longer messages as we go, just so I don't like read it all out loud. But yeah, no, don't worry about sending like long messages or anything like that.
Like, after Christmas recently.
Huh.
Oh, never mind. They didn't see through us. Oh my gosh. With the groundwork now laid, Millie turns her attention back to the two, ready to pick up where I left off.
Up until the last few weeks, Olive was just my escape plan whenever you or Caprice tried to pull me into some family thing. I'm sorry for lying to you, but desperately needed the space.
I'm sorry, too. I didn't want to lie to any of you, but
But you were doing right by her. It's okay. I get it.
Mike's interjection surprises Millie and I in equal measure. Her eyebrows raise as high as they can go. Charlie doesn't elaborate, but her sad smile serves as enough of an agreement with her fiancé. With that first bombshell navigated about as well as anyone could hope, Millie's confidence seems to come back to her as she returns to her book posture. Posture straightens slightly.
Olive's been there for me as a friend and as a partner. Without them by my side, I don't know that I'd have the courage to do this. So, I'm just gonna come out and say it.
She lets go of my hand and holds her book, her hands caressing the cover as she continues.
This journal is the most important thing I own. Written by the most important person in my life. It's my voice, helping me find words when I can't find them on my own. But for as thorough as she was, she left some things incomplete. I'd like you two to help fill in the blanks, because I don't know how to do it alone.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I'm gonna better change the topic. Have you ever tried Umineko no Kaku Koroni? No, I have not played Umineko, but Umineko mentioned. Yeah, I feel like about every TwoFold stream, Umineko gets mentioned to the point where I'm like, I think we'll have to play it on stream. You know, it comes up frequently enough that I'm like, it only feels right to do that. And it sounds good. Like, it sounds like it's a very well-liked visual novel, so I'm super down to play it. Beatrice, I'm assuming that's a reference I won't understand. It was me last time. Just bear in mind, Yumi Neko's super long. Oh yeah, didn't you say it was like 1,000,000 words or something? Hang on, I'm just gonna look that up really quick. Blup. Not to interrupt the super emotional scene. 1.1 million words, yes. How long to beat Yumi Neko? Oh, just a casual 62 hours? Hey, at least with that... At least with that, we won't have to worry about figuring out anything new to stream for a while. We'll think about it. That's just the questions arc, aka chapters 1 through 4? What? How many chapters are there? Did you say that there were 8? Because you were on like chapter 7, I think, when we were talking about it. I believe there's 8 chapters. Wait, so it's like 120-ish hours essentially. That's... I mean, again, if we do it, we won't have to worry about finding anything new to stream for a little while. So, pretty much, yeah. We'll think about it. We'll have it in the works. We'll think about it. I was significantly more on that plan, until I found out that part. But at the same time, if it's good, I don't really mind, because, like, the Fate visual novel's also super duper long, and I've really enjoyed that. You should tell Aremia before you do it. She'd be thrilled, lol. Yeah, I'd be super down to do that. Just like DM her, be like, hey, listen, we're going to be doing these streams. What up? Let's do this. I want to see how long Fate is in comparison. Fate, Stay, Night, visual novel. Oh my gosh. The entirety of Fate Stay Night is about 59 hours. But granted, it's around 103 if you try to 100% it. So, which is kind of what I've been doing, sort of. I've been getting a lot of the endings, the bad endings, yada yada yada. Yeah, each route said to be around 15 to 20 hours. That's crazy. That's crazy. What is this? The One Piece of visual novels? How is it that long? Anyways, sorry, moving on. Yeah, no, again, we'll have it in the works. We'll be thinking about it. Besides, if it is good, that's the thing. If it's good, I don't really care if it's long, you know? That's all that matters to me. If you want to see how long it took one of my favorite YouTubers to beat Yumi Neko, search Yumi Neko Rengu and look at the playlist and duration of the gameplays. Alright, I want to look that up really quick, and then we're going to get back to the game. And are you saying that the YouTuber that Spike brought up hasn't even beaten it yet? Also, I like that you just knew that off the top of your head. You just had that on the dome ready to go. Hang on. Yumi Neko Rangu.
Hola a todos.
Hang on. Pause. Yeah, he's in chapter 7. That's how I read it, lol. Oh, okay, so you go through it through them. Okay. They have Slay the Princess, which Slay the Princess is definitely also something we're going to be doing on here eventually. It didn't bring up the playlist when I looked it up, so now I'm just like manually searching. Let's play. Wait. Inscription. Blah, 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 blah. Hang on, I'm gonna. Lol. I thought he finished it already. Give me a sec. Giving you a sec. Oh, wait, these are like almost 2-hour long parts. And I'm seeing up to part like 27. That's insane. That is so much visual novel. Playlist. There's 78 parts. I found the playlist. That is... And they're all that long, like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay, so on the shorter end, they're a full hour long. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Flamel. Again, you know what? We might do a test run with it, and see how it goes, and then decide if we're gonna stick with it from there. Because hang on. For Spike and Tracy, is Yumi Neko worth the length? Is it actually that good, or is it only that long because there's a lot of like fluff in it? Because that would be the deciding factor if I'm going to 100%. Dang it, I might need to check this out. I might need to check it out. But to be fair, he really likes to overthink everything, and sometimes he just stands in one text screen doing nothing, just thinking. To be fair, that's also what I like. I think all the Fate routes that I've done and recorded are around like 60-ish episodes, with each like being like around 40 minutes to an hour too. Because I also just stand there and just talk about it. I just yap for a long time. Best mystery novel I've read in my life, and I'm not even done. Yeah, we'll have to check it out, because I do love a good mystery. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll try it. And if I don't like it, then we'll stop, essentially. That's how we'll do it. But yeah, let's get back to this. She waits for a response and gets none. Nevertheless, she thumbs to another one of her bookmarks, pushing it up to skip to the section she had highlighted.
Page 53. I'm afraid of forgetting you. This was from me to her. She wrote down a response, talking about how she was afraid of the same thing, but that forgetting was okay.
You know, guys, I'm really glad that we took the Yumi Neko break, just because I knew that this was about to get sad, so having like a distraction for a second was really nice. I really appreciated that, to give myself like an emotional break before getting back into the sadness.
It was one of the only answers I could never really accept as it was. It's just heartbreaking beyond words. Imagining someone being okay with fading away into nothing.
Your mother will never be nothing to us. I hope I don't need to tell you that.
I know you mean that. I really do. It's just so hard to see what's happening and what it really means. There are parts of her that are gone forever. Grandma and Grandpa are gone, so there's no one around to remember her childhood. Then there's the smaller things. What flowers she would grow in the garden in the back. Individual stories she'd read me. The weekends we'd all spend together. The finer details of her life are already fading away.
Millie starts to crack, a sniffle interrupting her train of thought. I do the only thing I can do and place a hand on her back, giving her a gentle rub.
And now, the stuff that really mattered to her. the things that defined her life. Her wedding ring and how easily it was forgotten. You putting yours away, then replacing it with a new one. The photos of her, of us, slowly being taken down and replaced with newer, happier memories. I would never, ever want to get between you and your happiness, and I'm sorry for being so cold about it up until now. But it's just, sometimes it feels like every step closer to the marriage is one step away from her. And I'm worried that once the big day comes, it'll just be all of us washing our hands of what little is left of her. I was scared of forgetting her then, when she was still around and the memories were fresh. Now I'm terrified.
Tears start to fall, staining the immaculately maintained journal.
Oh, Mills.
Charlie brings her hand forward. She hesitates for a brief moment before committing, wrapping her arm around Millie's back, embracing her as best she can next to her on the couch.
There's so much I can't remember about her. All the stories I want to tell you or Caprice about our time in high school, or even just small moments we shared while raising the two of you that I just can't quite manage to recall. It breaks my heart to think about all the things that are just gone.
With my hand still on Millie's back, it's easy for me to notice the gentle shake Charlie gives her.
But it's okay. She didn't leave us much, but it was enough. Even if you didn't have your journal, or I didn't have my bracelet, or we didn't have our photos, it'd be fine.
For the first time today, Charlie doesn't hesitate to close the distance between herself and her daughter, scooting herself closer to tighten her hug around her.
All we need to remember is the love we felt for her and her us. That's who Adelaide was. Anything else is just a happy extra. That's why it's okay to forget. It's impossible for us to lose the one thing that really matters. That's what I think she meant.
All of us sit while Millie processes Charlie's answer. Her tears eventually stop, and the sniffles soon after.
There's one more page I want to look at.
Go ahead.
She flips to her last bookmark, only a few pages behind the current one.
Page 42. What to do if Dad gets a new mom.
Oh, stop.
She left it blank.
Charlie can't help but retreat away, both her and Mike's eyes wide. Charlie turns to Mike, hopeful he'll have an answer, but his expression shifts to a difficult one as the room looks to him. A quick spark of realization about something or other seems to hit him as his expression comes to life for a brief second. Whatever came to him quickly leads into frustration as he drags a hand down his face, his features being pulled downward in the process.
I've put you through so much. I had no idea.
Dad?
Mike brings himself to his feet. There he stands, eyes closed, the only movement from him being the tapping of his foot as he puts his thoughts in order.
I just need you to know, no matter how we felt, Charlie and I would never do something like this if we thought your mom might not approve of it. I know how that page must look and how hard it is to believe me, but I promise you that she just ran out of time. It's not...
I believe you.
What?
Mike swivels in place to face his daughter, eyes now wide open.
That's all I wanted to hear. I know you wouldn't lie about something like this.
Millie turns to me and gives me a gentle smile. She nudges my arm as she closes her journal, and I take the cue to raise it from her back. She reaches down, giving my hand one more soft squeeze before it's out of reach.
I needed time to grieve and go through the process of moving on. But above that, I needed to hear that from you, from both of you, that this wasn't us saying goodbye to her.
Both of us think about her every single day. I know you do too.
I know, I shouldn't... I know I never had any real reason to doubt you, but just the With everything moving so fast.
Like with Haley before, Millie collapses into her dad, hugging him with everything she has. Just as quickly, Charlie and I are standing, Charlie joining Mike and comforting their daughter.
To put that on you too. To even think. I'm so sorry.
We understand. Of course we understand.
Thank you for talking about this with us. I'm sorry we weren't able to listen until now.
As the three huddle around, holding on to each other, I breathe a sigh of relief. The burden that had been on Millie's shoulder since before I met her is finally starting to lift, and I swear I can feel it almost as strongly. As they all slowly regain their composure, Millie pulls away, finding her spot by me once again, adjusting her braid and glasses. She looks first to her parents and then the door.
I wish Caprice could have been here for this.
Charlie's expression shifts and turns, having an internal debate with herself at Millie's statement. One side wins out at her as her posture relaxes again, a smile finding its way to her face.
You should catch her up to speed. I'm sure both of you still have some things to say to each other.
Millie plays with her braid, her uncertainty transparent.
Are you sure that's the best idea? I don't want to ambush her.
I trust you too. Just be honest with her, but gentle, and you'll be fine.
Charlie reaches into her back pocket, pulling out a couple slips of paper. She steps forward, presenting one to each of us. I flip it over curiously in my hand, the big, bold aquarium logo immediately grabbing my attention. Free entry pass for use only by family of staff member, Charlotte Amelia Shifton.
It'd be unfair to have you pay entry to do something like this. Save yourself a few dollars.
You're truly doing God's work out here. Also, sorry guys, just whenever we're having like a big scene like this, I'm probably gonna get too sucked into it and ignore the chat. But what is going on over here? Just one of the last thing, if you like mystery visual novels, you're gonna love it, every second of it. I wouldn't say every second, there's some very Japanese humor parts. Yeah, dude, especially when it's like Japanese wordplay, where like the best they can do is put like a translations note to explain to you what the joke was supposed to be. It's chef's kiss. It's so good. But message deleted by a moderator. Oh no, is that a spoiler? Let's not even talk about names because spoilers, please. Oof. Yeah, no, please, no spoilers. I like going into things blind. But that's not a spoiler. Mentioning anything specific about the story. Okay, so, but it's literally the first name you hear on the game. No, I hate it when people say, this is nothing against you, Spike. I hate it when people say, but it's the first thing that happens in the story. How is it a spoiler? And I'm like, well, because I didn't know it was gonna happen. I didn't know. Like, the main example I think of is, I don't know why this stuck in my memory for so long. It's the fight at the beginning of Kung Fu Panda 3. The fight that starts that. I was told about it by a family member, and they're like, oh, it's okay, it happens in the first few minutes, it doesn't really count as a spoiler. And I was like, how does that not count as a spoiler? I didn't know that that fight was gonna happen, and it sounds like it would be a really cool surprise. So yeah, no, even if it happens as like literally the first thing, because you don't know it's gonna happen, it still counts as a spoiler in my mind. Yeah, I keep the experience as blind as possible. Yeah, I'm sorry the same way. That's how I feel about things. I understand being excited about media and wanting to dump every thought in your mind before anything is even on screen, but you know, going in while knowing absolutely zero is something impossible to get often. Yeah. And again, like I think we talked about this before, but I like going into things as blind as possible, to the point of like, once I get interested in something, I'll go out of my way to not like to push it out of like any possible chance of like it being mentioned around me. Like obviously, like if people are just like talking about it and I come across it, I'm not gonna be like, how could you say this online, like, or that kind of stuff. But I just try to avoid it. And even if it's like a game or a movie I'm interested in, after I become interested in it, I stop like looking at like trailers or like promotional stuff. Like Pokemon's kind of like the one exception where I still look at like some of the promotional stuff just to get excited for it. But outside of that, I don't really watch like most promotional things, just because I'm like, well, I want to go in as blind as possible. But yeah, so I do agree with that. Even if something's small and it's at the beginning, I would prefer not to know about it. Millie looks over the pass as if it was worth its weight in gold. Probably not that much. It's a pass. It's probably like not even 0.1 pounds. Anyways, eyes beginning to well, but not quite to the point of tears.
Here then, let me trade you.
With her pass in her left hand, Millie extends her right towards Charlie, the one holding her journal.
Millie, no.
I'm not giving it to you. I just want you to keep it safe until I can pick it up again when we meet for dinner tonight. If you did want to read it, though, I think that'd make her happy. She had some things to say to both of you, too.
With Millie's explanation and the implication it provides, Charlie finally accepts the book, though not without hesitation.
Sure you don't want to just take it with you?
Millie shakes her head.
I've used Mom's words when I couldn't find my own, ever since she gave that journal to me. Caprice needs to hear from me, though, not her.
Charlie and Mike smile and wrap their arms around each other, looking like a couple for the first time since I've known them.
See you tonight, then. Love you. Drive safe.
Call us if you need anything. Don't keep us waiting too long.
Love you both, too. I'll meet you at the usual place as soon as I pick up Caprice.
Millie turns to me again, a brilliant shine in her eyes and a smile on her face. She reaches for my hand and I give it eagerly.
Sorry to keep dragging you into these things, Olive. You really make it all feel manageable.
Never a problem. Let me know if I can do anything else too.
Of course.
With a jingle, she produces her car keys, and outside, Junebug honks twice as Millie unlocks the door. One more try. Meanwhile, I got my biggest theory converted in a nonchalant manner in the Elan server, and I was still so mixed on that because I wanted to find out if I was right or wrong in-game. Yeah, like, dude, when you get like a huge spoiler and it just slaps you in the face, it just feels so bad. It feels like it just robs you of like that experience that you wanted to get. But what game was it a theory for? What was it for? You mean Neko? Because if so, that's rough to run into it there. I know there was an ill intent behind it, but it still hurt. That's fair, because like people, again, it's just people casually talking. It's just people casually talking. They don't have anything to do with it. Anyway, I gotta go sleep now. See you next time. Thank you for coming by, Spake. Have a great rest of your night. Sleep well. See you next time. You mean Echo Chapter 8? Yeah, no, that's rough. Like, obviously, if the conversation was going towards it, it's like fair to see like why it would come up. But like some people, again, with like no ill intent, will just be like randomly throw in spoilers to things out of nowhere, and it's like, but why? I wasn't expecting it here of all places. Come on. Water's good. Water's good. I go too long of like the day of like not talking at all and then talking a lot during the streams. I think that's why I get so thirsty during them. It's because it's like my mouth trying to compensate for like the sudden switch up on everything. But you know, that's rough. Especially if it's like you've invested like 100 hours into something. And then like you get it spoiled before you can reach the ending when you've put like that much time into it. It's sort of like, again, just to use One Piece as a comparison, it'd be like I'm, you know, reading through One Piece, doing week to week, and then it's like somebody like kidnaps Oda, has Oda tell them like whatever the One Piece is, and then they post it online, and I randomly come across it. Like that would like kill me inside. I was talking about my biggest theory, and they just replied, hey, even saying as a theory is a massive spoiler because people should figure it out on their own. And it's like, so you said, here's my theory, and they confirmed your theory and then got mad at you for saying that, like, wait, hang on. They got mad at you for potentially spoiling it because it was your theory, not realizing that they were inherently spoiling it through that, That's weird. That's weird. But yeah, no, that's rough. That's rough. Especially with the backwards logic. That's so weird. But hey, as long as you're saying that they didn't like mean anything bad by it, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, that's rough. I was just trying to think of like if there's anything else I'm like that invested in that I'd hate to get spoiled for me, and I can't think of anything. But like, I don't know. For me, I probably get like too upset about spoilers. That's why I appreciate that you have like a very similar mindset to me when it comes to spoilers. So even if it's like something that most people see as small, you take care of it. Cause like I want to go into things to experience them like to truly experiencing them. And like you can't really do that if you know it's coming in any way. They thought I was spoiling my friend who had already finished Yumi Neko years ago. Oh no, the irony keeps building up. They spoiled it for you because they were mad that they thought you were spoiling it for someone who already knew all the answers. And that's funny. That's funny. It's almost like an Ouroboros of spoiling things for people, you know? Spoiling things for people because they think you're spoiling it when they're only spoiling it for you. That's weird. Side by side, we push through the cold wind and winter air towards the car. It's a little sad, but hey, my theory was right. I mean, hey, at least you have like some win from it. There is a silver lining. Even if you'd rather not have it spoiled, at least it's like just validating for you in that way. Oh, this is a cute little place. Not gonna lie, this kind of looks a lot like, granted, this is probably just what like most aquariums look like, but I was just gonna say that this looks like an aquarium nearby. I can't remember the last time I've been to the aquarium. And every tank is a sea of colors. Delicate underwater blooms unfold in every direction. A swarm of fish pass by, their scales shimmering in the light, casting rainbow hues across the water. The plants sway to and fro like grass in the wind, and I watch it all with equal parts awe and interest. Caprice grew up here. The simple truth of that, paired with her coming here when it all became too much, reminds me of when I was young, holding my breath underwater in the pool for as long as I could. Millie points to a large stingray floating by, surrounded by smaller fish that I don't know the names of.
Stingrays used to be my favorite. I loved how they had a little smiling face on their underside.
Swarm, it's called a school. Olive, study your fish. So, listen, hang on, would you call, like, shrimp, because they're, like, the sea's insects, would you call that a swarm or still a school? I was gonna make a joke about that, but then I just generally was like, wait, would that be how that works? I don't know, because they're, like, both, I guess, in a way. But yeah, no, for real, Olive, come on. Colony of shrimp. They're called a colony? Is that real? Hang on. What do you call a group of shrimp? Oh, the Google's telling me. Oh yeah, no. It says colony or troop. It says troop, but then it says that another way to refer to them is a colony. Why a troop? Is it because they look like they have little mustaches and like they could play instruments if they had hands and instruments? Is that what it's for? Maybe. But yeah, no, you're definitely not making it up. But there's just two names for them. That's weird, but whatever, I guess. Whatever. That's weird. But yeah, Olive, come on. You're in college. You study fish. You should know this. Bird group names are so funny, like an unkindness of... Is that real? Is that one real? That one's so much better than a troop or a colony. Or like how it's like a murder of crows. Like, I know that one. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Granted, I don't know like any other ones. Like, people usually just call them like, do people call them flocks? No, that's for like sheep and stuff like that. What do people normally call like just group of birds? Hang on, we're doing another R&D session. I can't wait to just drop that random fact in as if it's a fact I've known all along to random people I'm talking to, because that's awesome. What do people call a group of birds? Because isn't there like just a general one? Oh, it is a flock. Oh, I'm so smart. Oh my gosh, look at me go. I was right, but I doubted myself. That's why you always have to have confidence. That's why you always have to be confident in what you're doing and saying. A mermation of starlings, a parliament of owls. That's awesome, and it just fits. It just fits for what owls are. So I'm super okay with that one. I'm super okay with that. But a bouquet of pheasants? Why a bouquet? Why that one? I don't understand that one. The other ones, I'm like, you know what? Those are great. Also a mermation. What does a mermation mean? Sorry to keep derailing with R&D sessions. I'm just curious. Mermation. Definition. A flock of starlings. That's just what it means. All the other ones are like actual words and stuff. Like parliament's a word, bouquet's a word, like unkindness is a word, but mermation is literally just a word for a flock of starlings. Why are they so special? why are they so special, huh? Pheasants are very colorful. That's fair. That's actually a very fair reason why they call them a bouquet. But would you like say the same thing about like peacocks? Are peacocks also called bouquets then? Because at least the males are like super colorful. Well, I feel like it'd have to be like the same thing. An ostentation of... Oh, that's even better. An ostentation of peacocks. An exaltation of larks. Dude, the fish got screwed. There's just like school or colony, like lame stuff like that. They're not cool enough to be called ostentatious or exalts. Come on, that's way better.
Used to be. Are they not anymore?
Liv, please. I'm a grown woman. My favorite is obviously the tiger shark now.
Obviously. You know, not to generalize, because I hate any kind of generalization. Every woman who's ever told me their favorite fish, it has always been a tiger shark. I don't think I've ever gotten a different answer than that.
Ah, I should have guessed.
Wait, actually, well, yeah, no. Every time, like, the rare times I'm, like, talking about, like, favorite fish with people, it's always a tiger shark. That's always the answer I get from women. And I'm like, I see it. They're really cool. It's just weird that it's so consistent. Like, again, like, I'm the type of person who I'm like, I've met such a wide array of people that, like, any generalization people try to apply to a group, I'm like, well, I can think of, like, enough counterexamples of, like, other groups who fall into this, except for when it comes to tiger sharks. And, like, the women I've met, I don't know what it is. So... But yeah, no. Like, even people who are like, oh, I just had, like, a weird spasm there. That was weird. Ignore that. I'm fine. But, like, I went on a date to an aquarium once, and even there, like, whenever we were walking around and, like, was overhearing people's conversation, like, oh, what's your favorite kind of fish? Every time I'd hear the response be, oh, a tiger shark. I like both sunfish and moonfish because sunfish in Spanish are called moonfish, and moonfish in Spanish are called sun... Why the switch? Why? Wait, why is it like that? Also, I gotta look up pictures of sunfish. This is just like what Stunfisk was based off of, right? Because, oh. Hang on. So, yeah, no, the sunfish looks like it should be a moonfish. I'm down with that. What is the moonfish? Wait, no. Yeah. Spanish is just doing it right. Because the sunfish looks like it would be the moon, and the moonfish just looks like it should be the sunfish. So Spanish is like the only one that's right on that. I don't know, but it's so funny. It's funny, but it's just valid. It's just the valid way to do it. Because as soon as I looked up the picture of the moonfish and just got this one with like blotches on it, like the crater that looked like the craters of the moon, I'm like, oh, did I look up the wrong thing? No, that's the sunfish. So, all right. I think the rest of us are just doing it backwards. She nudges against me. We stand there for a moment longer, waiting for the next rush of life to pass by before moving on. From what I remember, the aquarium is pretty small. 2 floors and about half, or maybe a third of the size of the zoo altogether. What it lacks in size, it makes up for in variety. Each tank hosts a spectacle of creatures and plants, decorated with rocks and other features, all living together in closed, harmonious ecosystems. All of this to say, we're not in a rush. Wherever Caprice may be, we'll cross paths soon enough. The dull sound of waves crashing against the coral reef display the hushed whispers of the stream of people nearby. And Millie by my side makes our journey here feel more purposed. Anxiety melts away, replaced with resolve.
she is.
Oh, great. Who's ready for another, again, another emotional climax? Who's ready for that? Before long, Millie points down a curved hall. Oh, the lighting here is great. This is the perfect spot for this. Oh my gosh. A small shape silhouetted against a large tank. Recognizable at an instant thanks to her signature hat and short stature. Oh, I forgot the best bird group name. A flash of tits? Wait, I've heard that before. What bird? Oh, what bird is that for? And why? Why is that what they're called? I feel like at a certain point they were just like, what's like the funniest thing that we could do? What's the best way to like make this stuff like memorable for people so they actually remember? Because as we all know, look up tit bird. All right, I'm gonna put this into my Google search history. All right, tit bird. Oh, these guys are adorable. These birds are mainly small, stocky woodland species with short, stout bills. Oh, they're so cute. They're adorable. They're really cute. Yeah, no, these are like the cutest birds I've ever seen. I'm guessing they're not named after the tit that I was thinking of, and I'm okay with that because these guys are adorable. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at images of them now. Oh. I was gonna say this one's the cutest one, but you guys can't see what I'm talking about. But it's like a little white one that's just looking up at the camera being adorable. Oh my gosh, stop. That's so cute. Also, hi Caprice, cool hair. No, her hair is really sick. Has it always been like that, or is that a very recent thing? I don't think it's always been like that, but I might be misremembering. I might not be aware of everything. In the tank, bright blue water and hot pink rocks on the floor frame the dabbles of swimming color within. The fish move in slow swath like paint on glass.
Caprice?
She turns towards us, slightly in surprise. That's fair. That's a fair reaction. Then, with nothing more than an adjustment of her hat, walks away in the opposite direction.
Oh,
Millie falters. That was not what I expected either. The Caprice I've met so far has been reactive, bright, the type to try every tool at her disposal before even considering walking away. But now she looked at us long enough to register our faces and left. I glance over to Millie, who's closed her eyes to shut out any tears that may dare fall. Wait, any tears that may dare falling. Okay. I was reading it wrong in my brain.
Are you okay?
after so long of trying to fix everything on her own, I should have expected it. I should leave.
No, we can't.
Why?
Because you gotta fix things with her. This can't be how it goes on forever. She looks at me with a grim expression, but her voice doesn't even have an ounce of animosity.
Can I try talking to her first?
I don't know, Olive.
I just want to reach out.
Moving out from her apartment, not attending any art meetings, not even responding to any messages. A feeling in my stomach turns. This isn't the same as what Millie was doing when she needed space. Something tells me this is worse. I don't know her that well, but maybe that'll be exactly why she'll give me a chance.
If you're sure.
I squeeze her hand, then let go. Off in the direction Caprice disappeared to. Also, a quick question. Can everyone hear my computer in the background? I just want to make sure, just because it picked up in volume just slightly for a little bit. So I was just curious if you guys could hear it.
Don't.
You're what? Sweet. You can't hear nothing. That's fine. That works with me. Thank you. She doesn't turn around, just stares at the exhibit before her. A semi-outdoor scene dotted with fresh fallen snow and a miniature waterfall.
It's just me. Don't worry.
Almost like she doesn't believe me, Caprice glances back, looking at and around me for any sign of Millie. I offer a small smile. She doesn't walk away this time. She turns back to the glass. I walk closer to her and try to see what she sees. Before that, though, I notice something different. Blue highlight that, and that answers my question. They weren't always there. Blue highlights in her hair reflect the seaside vistas around her, making her appear part of the aquarium itself.
I like the hair.
And you sound so genuine while saying it, too.
Figured it was time for a change. It's about all I have control over anymore.
In the exhibit before us is pure tranquility. No signs of any fish or animals.
Looks like the otters are staying in today.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is. So what do you want?
I want to
didn't
be
mean to-
your friend.
I didn't mean to do that. She pulls her hat down a bit more to obscure her expression. She doesn't continue, but she isn't being entirely cold either. It's in my court, then. I want to be your friend.
Huh?
Obviously not a reply she expected. Caprice lifts her head and studies my face intensely.
For whatever it's worth, all this time I've known both you and Millie. I wish we were better friends. I'm sorry we haven't been.
Why are you, of all people, apologizing? I was the one who... Just... never mind. It only feels worse to hear you say that. We're only acquaintances, and that's only because you're dating because you're dating Millie.
During Christmas, I was acting as Millie's partner, but we weren't actually together then. I lied to you.
Then, meaning you're together now. Doesn't really matter if it was before the holidays or not if the end is the same, does it? No offense, Olive, but I don't want to be friends just 'cause of that. If you think you'll help her by being our mediator, it won't. It didn't work for Haley, and we've known her for a whole lot longer than you.
I love Millie. I want her to be happy. But I'm not talking to you because I'm trying to fix her problems. I want to talk to you as a friend. Millie loves you. Even when you're fighting. No one wants you out of their lives. Her least of all.
I don't know how to articulate it. It's a feeling more than anything concrete. A jump of logic born out of the little I know about Caprice and how Christmas went. Hiding in the aquarium and making herself as sparse as possible to friends and family alike. I can only assume she's trying to make less problems for anyone, misguided as it is.
She just wants to talk to you. If you don't want to, that's okay. I just wanted you to know she's here.
Okay, I'll go talk to her.
Yes, that was so easy. Oh my gosh, we did it. I was so scared it was just going to be like a no. And then we're just like, all right, we'll go tell Millie no. And then we'll have to go through a bunch of other stuff to actually get them to talk. That went so smoothly. Good job, Olive.
Thank you, Ollie.
I paused slightly at that. Using a nickname I've only heard from my mom, Caprice stretches a bit and adjusts her hat, turning to leave.
Do you want to go alone?
Nah. It'd be nice to have a friend there. For both of us.
Aw. I turned to follow, but not before noticing the informational sheet for the exhibit, the one Caprice was standing in front of. Ollie the Otter. That's so silly. Ollie. Listen, it's the best kind of coincidence. That was awesome. I like that. Millie sits on a bench nearby where I left her. As we round the corner, she notices us out of the corner of her eye and stands, looking even more nervous than before.
Hey, Millie.
Hi, Olive. Caprice.
Apparently people in the lawn server got to name all the otters. Wait, are there other names for the otters? Do we get to see more of them? Oh my gosh. If we do, I'll love that. Again, I love otters, as long as you ignore the fact that they're some of the most evil creatures on the planet, you know? As long as you ignore that fact about them, they're adorable. It's the best.
Olive said you wanted to talk to me.
I do. I...
Millie takes a long breath, squaring her shoulders back. I take the opportunity to stand somewhere close, but not in the middle, giving them space.
Are you okay?
Okay. No, Mills, I'm not. I've been trying so hard to understand you, and now you want to swoop in and be the good guy?
I'm not trying to...
I did my best. I just wanted to show you that the marriage was going to be a good thing, to show you how happy we could be as a family. Do you know how much it hurts to have your best friend just shut you out of her life?
I'm starting to.
I can't understand what I'm doing wrong if you won't tell me.
See, and yeah, that's the thing. We talked about it before, but, like, Caprice's, like, way of solving this conflict has just been, like, rush headfirst into it. Like, she's just seeing it as she's the one putting in the effort to fix all the things, not understanding how she's pushing Millie away. And so, like, all of that, like, she's seeing that she's putting in all this effort, and that's not being reciprocated, or it's being, like, perceived negatively, has just kind of, like, manifested with a lot of resentment in her. Even though, again, to an extent, she's kind of, like, she's doing it for Millie, but not what Millie needs. Because what Millie was, like, obviously, like, worried about wasn't that they were going to be happy together. It was just all about, like, the complicated emotions with her mom. But Caprice wasn't able to see it from her perspective in that way.
That's all I wanted.
But it's also fair that Millie didn't tell her what was wrong, so Caprice didn't really have a way to know that without just, like, kind of guessing at it, essentially.
I'm sorry that I'm too much and too excited and too me, but I just wanted you to be happy.
Please be happy.
Oh, Caprice, please don't say that. I'm sorry. I don't want you to think that all of this is your fault. I need you to understand that what you were offering me was exactly what I didn't want.
What did you want then?
I needed to be sad, Caprice. I needed to be able to grieve and know that it was okay. Every single time I've brought my mom up, it's like everyone changes the subject just to cheer me up.
I had to, Millie. I had to try to make this work for all of us. I couldn't... Our parents are so happy together. They've sacrificed so much for raising us and always putting us first. Shouldn't they be allowed to be married with us by their side as a family?
We were already a family.
That can't be the only reason.
I didn't want the marriage because I was afraid of replacing the few memories I have left of my mom with yours. I'll never be able to walk into the kitchen and see my mom at the table drinking tea ever again. I'll never be able to come home and have her waiting there for me with a hug. When I realized I couldn't remember details about her anymore, I was scared. With the painting, it made me afraid that everyone else is forgetting her too. It breaks my heart that I love you and Charlie so much. I'm so excited to have you in my life. I want to move forward. It hurts to do that, but I need to feel that pain. I need to accept it. You wanted to protect me from it, I know. It just made it harder for me, made it all too loud and too much at once. I'm so sorry I didn't have the words for this earlier. You've always been my sister, Caprice. I didn't need you to prove it.
The roller coaster of emotions she just went through right there. Caprice clutches her shirt tighter, folding over slightly with each and every word. She opens her mouth to speak several times. Tears spill over. Carefully, Millie reaches out, Her arms barely touch Caprice's, and then Caprice launches at her sister, throwing herself into her arms and hugging as tight as she can. Cute. Yeah, this is adorable, especially with like the framing of like the aquarium behind her and like the pink lights casting onto them. This is a great little CG.
I'm sorry too.
Millie holds her, and everything she was holding back escapes too, crying into her shoulder. Backlit by the ocean, the two stand there, any other words they could have said melting away. I pick up Caprice's hat from the ground and look out into the water. Time passes. After a few more moments, I hear shuffling as Caprice and Millie separate, sniffling loudly. Caprice starts looking around the ground, muttering under her breath about her hat. Meekly, I offer it to her, and she takes it away from my hands with a polite smile. With Millie in the middle and Caprice and I on either side, the three of us slowly make our way to the entrance of the aquarium again. Occasionally, one of us stops to comment on a fish or exhibit, a small attempt at finding a footing of normalcy again. The exit in sight makes all three of us come to a stop, standing together.
So, Dad and Charlie wanted to go out to dinner tonight. All together, if you're up for it.
What? Really? I mean, of course I am. Yes, absolutely.
Millie looks over at me, a smile on her face.
You're invited too, of course.
It would be so rude. Like, it's like understandable. It's understandable that it would be like more of like a family thing. But after how Olive's also kind of been with Millie every step of like this recovery process, to like not invite them would like, ooh, that hurt. That hurt me. It might not hurt them, but it hurt me.
I'll sit this one out, actually. I'm going to see if my mom wants to get dinner together. Let me know how it goes, though.
If you're sure. I think it'll go a lot better than last time, which I'm sorry for, again.
What do you mean it went great last time?
I'm sorry again too.
I know, it's just that I kind of started it, so...
But
Maybe you two should take a break and apologies for today.
A good point.
Anyway, it wasn't all bad. I got a pretty cool friend out of it all, you know?
Aww. We shuffle out of the aquarium and into the cold. Or it would be cold. The sun is shining outside, leaving the afternoon surprisingly warm. Caprice bounds ahead towards Millie's car.
I call shotgun. I haven't had a ride in the old Junie in months.
They're gonna give me diabetes? What, just because they're so sweet?
Hold is right. I hope she isn't too excited when she hears how clunky the gear shift is.
Because if so, same, but you know, I'm okay with it.
I don't think anyone but you would notice that kind of thing.
Do you want to ride?
I'm not sure. I think it'd be good if you two could have some quality time.
We have all the time in the world for that. Oh, and Olive?
Millie takes my hand in hers. She laces our fingers together, carefully and one by one. Taking a step closer, she rests her head against mine.
You'll come to the wedding, right? As my plus one?
Oh, please tell me we actually get to see the wedding. That'd be an awesome way to, like, capstone this whole thing. Granted, I think a cool idea would be, like, after you play through both routes, then you get to see the wedding. Once you've seen, like, the conflict from both sides entirely, then you get rewarded with, like, the wedding scene. I think that'd be cool. Granted, I don't think that's what would happen, but, like, I think it'd be neat. I have to withhold a laugh. Pulling Millie's hand into both of mine, I nod.
I'll be there.
I kiss her, reaching up slightly on my tiptoes to reach her.
I love you. We'll see each other later, right?
Of course.
Hand in hand, we head towards the car, where Caprice waves at us from the passenger seat. It'd be wrong to say everything is fine now, that the two won't have more work ahead of themselves, more work to understand one another better. Millie is right, though. They have all the time in the world. There are many more days ahead of happiness and love to be shared. Many nights of tears and struggles. As friends, as sisters, as family. I know they'll make it through it. All of us will face tomorrow in our own ways, at our own pace. Two weeks later. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was about to be the ending and I was gonna be so sad. I thought it was just about to like fade into the credits and I was like, no, please don't, not yet, give us a little bit more. The setting sun casts long shadows as I head out of the science building, starting the long walk to the bike rack. The morning's frightfully cold chill has given way to a mild, cool afternoon. All the better for the ride home. No, it's not over yet, Lamau, and I'm so thankful for that. Whenever there's like a big, huge scene, and it kind of feels like starting to give the end off, and then it's very easily a scene where it's like, now we're gonna fade out, and that's the end. It's like, no, you can't do this to me yet. The last few days have been chaotic in a way. I thought I'd left behind once I'd finished my exams. Everything's out of my control, but oddly enough, it feels like that's for the best. Groups of students chat happily around me. It feels like a weight has been lifted off everyone's shoulders with the end of college now in sight for those of us in our final semester. I wish I could say I feel sure of what's going to happen next, but I can't. Yet I'm a little more comfortable with that than I used to be. Where stepping out of the education and into the real world once felt like an event horizon I couldn't see past, now I realize there's plenty of others going through the same thing. As I pass the parking lot, I spot the now familiar sight of Millie leaning against her car, checking her phone for one reason or another. I'd been giving Millie some space since she moved back in with Caprice and Haley, but it's good to see her again. I approach with a wave as she puts her phone away, and she's quick to return the gesture. I feel like that'd be so weird to go from, like, starting dating, like, with Millie and everything, and having her live in the apartment for a few weeks, to suddenly she's just, like, back moved in with, like, her roommates and everything. I feel like that'd, like, feel weird, and, like, it'd make the house feel so, like, empty and everything.
Fancy seeing you here. Waiting for the others?
Caprice has got her club today, so just Haley.
It's only been a couple days, earning a snort of amusement from her. I'm just glad to see her smiling, no matter how small it may be.
Enjoying the quiet back at home again?
Haley mentioned. Best line we've read in a while, because Haley was mentioned.
It's been fine, but I have to admit I missed my old roommate a bit.
I do hope we get to see her at least one more time. It would be nice, you know, to see how she's doing now that everything's settled back down.
I'm sure she'd be happy to visit. All you'd have to do is ask.
I was talking about Mo.
The king, the goat, who hasn't been seen at all in the stream. The biggest tragedy. She gives me a comically over-exaggerated pout, but it quickly melts away as she leans in for a quick kiss. When she pulls away, she removes her glasses and produces a cleaning cloth from her coat pocket.
How's life back at the apartment, anyway? Been going okay?
I wish I could say it was like I never left, but after so long, you definitely feel like a stranger in your own home sometimes.
Yeah. That do be how it goes when you're away for a long time. She finishes wiping down her glasses, placing them back on. Cloth still in hand, she gestures for my glasses next.
Yours got fogged up too, don't even pretend otherwise.
Unable to think of a counter-argument in the 3 or so seconds she allows me, I hand them over without a word of protest. Oh my gosh, so seeing how blurry it is right now just reminded me of one of the things on the redeems is to have my glasses get removed, and I'm just saying, like, if someone does that and then reverses, like, how I have to hold things, like, if they, like, someone, like, say we're playing Undertale and someone, like, reverses how I have to hold my keyboard, we just lose at that point. I can't do anything. I'm as blind as a bat without my glasses, and so having things reversed, I would just become unusable at that point. 5k points is a lot of points, Lamau. Yeah, no, it is. I didn't have, like, time to go through and like sort everything back down, just because I'm like, I think like any of like the 5K ones, because like there's another one that's 5K points. That's so much at the beginning, at least. Eventually it'll become nothing. That's fair. That's fair. Especially for like you or Plastics, who's like here pretty often, you probably are gonna build up points so fast. Granted, I don't think I've ever actually like looked at the conversion of how many points do you get over how long a time. Like, how many points do you have right now? I'm mostly just asking because I like knowing the numbers. I also want to look this up. How does it to get channel points on Twitch? Every 5 minutes while watching a stream if you're not... Oh, if you're not subscribed. I don't think that's right. I don't think the AI is right on that one. In a friend's stream, I'm saving for 1 mil point redeem, and I currently have 280k in her channel. How? 2 questions. 1, how long has it taken you to get to 280k? Second question, why are you saving for 1 million points? What exactly is that redeem? For returning for 5 consecutive each stream, they must have 10 minutes and... Wait, about a year and a half. Lore drop for her character. Oh, okay. Is it like a VTuber, or is it like a thing like that they're working on? I'm still not finding a thing that says how, like, hang on. How many points do you get for watching? I'm just curious about it. VTuber, yeah. That's honestly a pretty based way to do that. Especially having it out of 1 million, so it's like you have to be super, super dedicated. And yeah, about a year and a half for 280k. Wait, no, hang on. So at that rate, it's gonna take like 4 more years, like 3.5-ish more years. That's that's gonna take so long. For just the lore drop. I don't mind. I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying they're thinking like, dang, that's gotta be like the best lore ever for it to take the 5 years. 10 points for watching 5 minutes? Hang on. Calculator app. I'm gonna pull up the calculator app. I want to do some quick little math. Let me DM you the rates. Oh, you have that unlocked? Let's go. Because I think I just found it, but I don't know how accurate it is, just because like Google's not been super helpful. So 10 points per 5 minutes. I need to do some quick little... Sorry to like get so distracted at the end of the visual novel. But listen, I'm just curious about things. And obviously this isn't going to be 100% accurate, because like you do get some points for just like getting into the stream, like consecutively watching. Like you get like little like rewards for stuff like that, so it wouldn't be exactly accurate. But I'm just trying to think about the best way to do this. You'll earn 10 points for divided by... So if I'm doing the math right, which I'm not at all, you've watched 5,600 hours of your friend's streams. That's insane. I'm pretty sure I did that. Wait, no, not 5,600 hours. 5,600 minutes. I think that sounds right. That sounds right. Hang on, let me look at the rates. Watch for 5 minutes, claim special bonuses, participate in raid, follow his channel, monthly first year. Oh, okay. So there's like also a lot of other ways to do it. If I want to maximize point income, I would sub with a tier 3 gifted sub and share every month. Yeah, but that'd be a lot. That's a lot of money. So it makes sense why that's not happening. Cause I think hello, my neck broke. I'm back. I definitely didn't do that math right. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it later. I'm just bad. It's like taking a test. I'm bad when there's even a modicum of pressure to do the math right. Like, I heard it was only like $5 a month to subscribe to someone until I went to actually subscribe to someone. I was like, wait, it's gone up by like $8, and these tiers are so much money. I hate it. But yeah, no. I mean, hey, that's base. I still respect that way of doing the lore so much. That's awesome. But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna have to do that better just because I'm curious. And I'm also thinking of more stuff to put into the redeems because I want to do more stuff than like, again, like the kind of generic stuff. Again, not that there's anything wrong with like the stuff that they provide. I just want to figure out like more specialized things. Unable to think of a counter argument in the 3 or so seconds she allows me, I hand them over without a word of protest. I can also DM you her channel if you'd like. She's fun. I'd be super down with that. I'm super okay with finding new great creators to follow.
We're going to be okay. Finally having everyone on the same page has done a lot, but we still have some lingering awkwardness to get through.
She finishes her cleaning, gently placing my glasses back on for me. The first thing I see with my newfound clarity is her soft smile.
That's good to hear. I've been worried. I know it was your idea to dissolve it, but the club was a pretty recent wound, so...
She's an artist and has cool emotes. Oh, I'm so down for that. Watching art streams is something that I'm always, like, interested in, but the only time I watch streams, like, is when I'm working, so it's really hard to watch someone draw while working, essentially. So it's not hard to do that, but it's something that I want to start, like, doing more. Also, I just, like, find, like, again, all my Twitter is, or at least all my Twitter used to be, was just, like, artist. I just love looking. It's such a basic, like, hobby, but I just love looking at art.
Tanya's been messaging me constantly to make sure I'm alright.
Seems like a Tanya thing to do. She played it off as best she could at the time, but she does care about Millie. It's good she has someone like that in her life.
We'll have to meet up with her more often. Maybe even do an official send-off for the club.
She gives a quick nod to the idea. There's a certain wistfulness behind her smile, but with Tanya and I around, I know she'll be okay.
Either way, that's the story of the writing club.
You and your bittersweet endings.
What can I say? They're my favorite kind to write.
Hey, sorry if this is weird or forward to say,
But
I'm really happy to see things working out for you again. You deserve it.
Aww. The honest words hit home for her, pursing her lips tightly to steady herself as she silently nods.
I think she would have liked you.
Huh? Who?
Her mom, silly. She's been doing an emerald art lock on Saturday. She draws every mon she gets. Dude, I've always wanted to do something like an art lock, but after not having like any practice drawing for like I've been getting back into art recently. I just turned around because I have like a thing I was working on right behind me. I'm getting back into drawing, and it is rough. But like, especially once I actually start getting better at using an art tablet, because I have one, I just suck with it. That'd be so fun to do, and that's like such like fun. Like, I don't know, like just spicing things up from like, because Pokemon Nuzlocke are a thing that like so many people do, but like not everyone can do like an art lock. So there's like, she like does she just like draw like, oh, like here's like the teammate, like here's just like the Pokemon? Does she like add anything to the Pokemon to like be like, here's like my Pokemon, essentially, like that kind of thing? Because like, I don't know, it's just really cool seeing like how everyone like put their own spins on it. Like, who was it? I think it was like, his name was Moxie. I think he's the only person I've watched do an art lock, and it was a really cool thing to do. But enough distractions. We're so close to the end. We're gonna put this off all night. Because I don't want this to end, because I'm gonna miss Millie, okay? She draws them based on their nature and whatever we were talking about. Wait, that's so cool. That's awesome. Like adding like the little flare, like again, adding like little flares to it like that is really cool. You should do a drawing from Pokemon from memory stream, Lamau. Oh, that'd go. Honestly, I don't think it'd go too bad. I don't think they'd look too different than if I had a reference, because they'd look bad either way, but I think I'd be like really close with a lot of them. But I might be overhyping myself. I might be overestimating my memory of Pokemon. Her Lanoon was called Ford F-150. I'd love it if her picture was just the Lanoon, just like sticking its head out the window of like a Ford as it's just like driving around the countryside. That'd be so funny. It just turns into like a Ford commercial just starring Lanoon. Yes, Lamau. I love that so much. I'll have to check that out because, listen, again, Pokemon's like 99% of my life, and I love seeing people do stuff like that, so I need to check that out. But yes, anyways, focus. Even if I'm gonna miss Millie after this is over, we gotta finish this. Especially since it's getting slightly late. We gotta push through to the end. leave it up to us to still not finish this. This is gonna be another one that has to get labeled, huh, I lied. We'll finish it next week.
Mom.
Yeah? What makes you think that?
A hunch.
She smiles a wide smile, and what a smile it is. That's such a cute line. It makes all my worries about the future disappear. I'm not sure exactly what lies ahead of me, but I know now that I'll have her beside me for whatever might come.
Do you want to ride home today?
I'd love to, but I've got a couple small errands to run. I wouldn't want you to ferry me around.
We should make some plans to get together for the weekend then. I haven't exactly been the most romantic the last few days.
Millie, you're so fine. You've had so many things that you need to take care of.
You've been fine. Better than fine.
That's what I said.
Just in love. I'm really quite awful, you know.
Oh yeah, the worst.
She giggles and pulls me in for a parting kiss.
Well, every good story does need an antagonist, after all.
Oh, look at the lovebirds. They can't keep their hands off each other.
What an awkward time. Oh, hey, Haley. We got one more Haley. Let's go. Peak fiction right here. Caprice bounces out of the entrance, making a kissy face and obnoxious wet noises to accompany it. Haley is following not far behind, smartly keeping her distance. Millie flowers into a scarlet blush.
What do you want, Caprice?
2 things.
Mhm.
1, to brag about how I am, once again, the ultimate matchmaker.
What? You had absolutely nothing to do with...
No, she did. She did.
And 2, to ask you two where you think you're going.
Home was the plan, as soon as Haley showed up.
Haley doesn't react to her name in the slightest, to absolutely no one's surprise. Millie looks to me for confirmation.
A quick grocery run and then home for me too.
And how exactly do you expect the art club to function without its co-lead and her partner in crime?
Millie looks just as puzzled as me, clearly getting no answers there. I turn to Haley instead, who shrugs. She's
Turns
so
out
cool.
I'm part of the art club, as of 10 minutes ago.
I appreciate the gesture, but I'm not much of an artist, I'm afraid.
It's a broad spectrum. Creative writing falls under the umbrella easy peasy.
You know what? She's right. When she's right, she's right. I mean, writing is art, so it counts.
Well,
Culinary arts.
She had that locked and loaded, huh?
She pulled the same thing on me if it makes you feel better.
I figured it was something like that, yeah.
It's sweet of you, Caprice, really, but you don't have to...
Millie, if you're gonna let me into your family, then at least let me share mine with you too. Please?
Aww. The three of us look to Millie for her answer. She knows that I'll follow her, no matter what her decision may be. Wait, does that mean we're gonna get some more scenes with Wallace in it? The goat? We're gonna have Wallace and Haley together, maybe? Ooh.
Meet you there.
Caprice looks like she's about to explode in excitement as her smile triples in size.
Okay, yes. Take your time. Come on, Haley. We gotta let the others know.
The evil and intimidating goat? Yes, exactly. The evil and intimidating goat. I want more of him.
Hold on,
Before Haley can finish, Caprice runs off in a mad sprint. With a heavy sigh, Haley turns to Millie, an out-of-character smile replacing her typical resting neutral face.
There's really no stopping her when she gets an idea in her head.
It's one of my favorite things about her.
Yeah, same.
Haley, you're taking forever!
Caprice shouts across the campus, jogging in place like she's training for a triathlon.
Better get going. See you in a few.
Yeah, see you soon.
And with that, she turns to follow her friend at the same slow pace she originally met us with.
I'm not running, Caprice.
We stand there for a minute. That makes me excited for the next shot, just to see more Haley and Caprice interaction, just because they're the most polar opposites you could be as people. We stand there for a while until both are out of sight. Whether due to hesitation or simply trying to process the conversation that just happened is something only Millie really knows.
So, ready to go?
Ready as I'll ever be.
No, I'm not ready yet. Please don't go. Graduation might just be around the corner, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, it looks like another chapter in our lives is just starting.
The weather's warming finally.
Is this Caprice singing this song? Oh my gosh, the little doodles are so cute. Oh my gosh. Is there gonna be a different one for the next route? Obviously with Caprice in it instead of Millie.
Since I've seen us really smile,
Oh, the king, the goat. He gotta make his appearance in the last stream. Let's go, Mr. Mo. Oh, that was awesome. That was great. Wait, is people mentioned? So true, people mentioned. All the great people who made this incredible visual novel. Oh my gosh. Also, is this whole end credit sequence just going to be about celebrating Mr. Mo? Oh, nope, never mind. I'm just going through and like reading all what everyone did in my brain really quick while it's passing by, while also trying to enjoy the art because it's so cute. Although I'm sad that it's not just all about Mr. Mo. That missed opportunity, SMH. But no, that was great. Like, I don't know, I'm just sitting here like being like, I just wish that I had more. Obviously there's like another route, but again, I'm just gonna miss Millie so much. Oh, hi Heather. Oh, and Darren, I guess they got along. All right, someone actually got along with Heather. That's weird. Wait, was that really Dadavu as Olive? I couldn't tell at all. That did not sound at all like I mean, I guess with like Silver, it kind of sounded like that, but even then I had no idea. And additional voices with Scion. Based, let's go. I didn't get to read anyone else though. That's like actually like throwing me off. Again, that I just never like the performance was just like so different and like natural sounding that I was like, oh, I didn't even think of them being the same person. But no, that was great. Again, the fact that like the whole next route I'm going to be sitting there like, I'm happy that we're still doing this, but I want to go back to the Millie route and just get more Millie. Don't forget there's friendship routes for the other two too. Wait, friendship routes? Hang on. I think I've definitely forgot what we were talking about with that. How do we get the friendship routes? You did the Tanya friendship route. Oh yeah, because there was the one choice where we gotta pick who we went and like talked to or whatever. Oh yeah, so we still do get more of like Heather and Darren, because I was actually sitting there like, it's really weird. I don't know why. Like, I understand like Heather being in the story, just to be like, oh, the little thing for Caprice is adorable. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I mean, wait, did I say Caprice? I think I said Caprice. Anyways, regardless, but like Heather was obviously there to like cause conflict, you know, and just be a more strain on the club. Oh, 2 months later. Never mind. I'll still shut up. We have more story, which I'm okay with. Oh, the coloring's so pretty. The myriad of colors presented by the flowers and trees mixed with the smell of freshly cut grass. It painted the picture of a perfect spring day, a world apart from the dreary winter that only recently made its long overdue exit. I think I need to click.
Where could they be?
Olive shoved their phone back into their pocket for the third time in the past half hour. The four had agreed to meet early, but as the seconds continued to tick by, Olive was losing more and more confidence in that happening. Elsewhere, the sisters were still getting ready.
We're going to be late.
Haley shouted down the hall. Oh, hi Haley, more Haley, let's go. With only the muffled sounds of her roommates finishing their preparations answering her. In the dressing room, Caprice's foot tapped in hurried anticipation.
Is it almost done?
Oh, are we doing? Oh, it's the wedding. Oh, okay. I was just thinking like, what's happening? Or is it gonna be like a proposal, or like is something else happening? But no, it's totally the wedding. Oh my gosh. Millie continued to fiddle with her hair.
You're not exactly giving me a lot to work with here.
Millie sighed, letting another failed attempt fall from her hands. Caprice's last-minute request was a surprise, but one Millie was more than happy to honor. A simple braid in her hair, a small reminder of Adelaide to bring along to the wedding, a style Millie proudly wore for just over a year, and one she decided to wear today again as well. Caprice's hair, however, was not as eager to cooperate with the request, its length proving an impossible hurdle to overcome. Millie was all too aware of the time continuing to pass them by, and with a frustrated sigh admitted defeat. The original plan wasn't going to happen, but she was determined to do something, if only to justify all the time spent on it this morning. Oh, that's cute though. One more try, this time much smaller in size, tied across her head rather than hanging loose. It wasn't what she wanted, but it was better than nothing.
What do you think?
Oh, the art's adorable. I can't with it. Millie raised a small mirror in front of Caprice, half hoping she simply wouldn't answer.
It's perfect!
Caprice jumped to her feet and hugged her sister tightly, leaving Millie no time to process her response.
Really?
What do you mean, really? It's a nice small reminder, but it still feels like me.
Millie returned Caprice's hug, holding her close for all but a moment before setting her loose.
I'm ready to go if you are.
Millie returned... Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Returned her eyes to the mirror still in her hand. The large braids she had become so accustomed to tying every day, taking up most of the view. Time was of the essence. They were already running late, and yet...
I need a few more minutes, if that's okay. Let Haley know I won't be long.
A few minutes passed, and a few more. Olive had shifted from a mild annoyance to a deep concern. Why would they be taking this long? Did something happen? Did Millie lose her nerves? Surely if something bad had happened, Haley would have let them know by now.
Found you!
A small pat on the back was enough for Olive to be jolted back to reality, and their heart jumped into their throat. Olive didn't need to turn around to place the voice, but after waiting for so long, they wanted the confirmation. Sure enough, Caprice was there to greet them, with Haley besides. All of them do, admittedly. Wait, my brain blanked. All of them do what? Oh, looking pretty. Is that what you're referring to? That's my favorite part about streaming, is especially when I get like really caught up in it. Yeah, is that like I'll get like, especially like during like the visual novel stuff, I get like so into whatever's happening that I'm not even like thinking about like what I'm saying. So when people respond to it like that, I'm like, oh no, I don't remember what I said that would cause that response. I'm glad I got it right this time. Olive didn't need to turn around to place the voice, but after waiting so long, they wanted the confirmation. Sure enough, Caprice was there to greet them, with Haley besides. Look at Haley. Wait. You didn't say it. I said it. Oh. Haley looks so... Oh, I didn't even see that Haley looks so pretty. Oh. Okay. I understand now. But you are correct. They all do. Especially Haley. I do like the jacket with the dress look.
Yo.
Where were you? I was really starting to get worried.
She's so cool.
Don't look at me. I've been waiting for a while.
Haley replied with a shrug. Olive turned to Caprice for an explanation, who responded with a sheepish grin.
Oh, you know how things go sometimes. The point is, we're all here now, right on time.
The timing Caprice boasted about was debatable, Olive thought. Actually, that wasn't the only thing.
If everyone's here, where's Millie?
Talk of the wedding had been more frequent from her these past few weeks. Olive hoped that meant she would show today, but they'd also been preparing for the worst. Caprice's unwavering smile was early evidence that they had nothing to worry about. As if on cue, Millie emerged from the modest crowd, greeting Olive with a small hug.
Sorry, was just putting some things away and locking the car up.
Her tone was flustered, and Olive knew her well enough to expect her to play with her braid as she tried to right herself afterward. If it was still there, that is. While a braid remained in her hair, it was now just a small strand, the rest of her hair now free to instead be tied in the back with a simple hair clip.
You look great.
As a smile found its way back to Olive's face, Millie averted her eyes as a blush started to form on hers.
You think so? I struggled a lot with the hair. I was thinking of wearing it like this from now on, actually.
It suits you perfectly. Don't change a thing.
Millie had her doubts. It may have suited her in this moment, but as she had come to realize, change was an inevitable thing. After so long wearing the same style and feeling the same feelings, what would suit her best once this moment had passed, and Millie had to focus on herself again? Something more comfortable, maybe. As the four finished their greetings and shuffled to find their seats, Millie played with her braid for the only time that day. Adelaide's presence in her life may be smaller than before, but it was still there, and that was enough. After endless cold and cloudy days, the start of a new chapter was penned underneath a pristine blue sky. Two women started the day as friends and ended it as sisters. Separate yet undeniably together, their stories were written on opposite sides of the same piece of paper. You've unlocked the following extras. Spring UI theme. Secret Seam CG Gallery. Thank you for playing. We hope you'll consider joining the art club next. Yeah, for sure, obviously. Man, I love TwoFold. No, that was so good. Also, we're gonna go and listen so that we have more songs to listen to. Let's play this one. This is a vibe. No, that was so good. Like, it absolutely lives up to like all the hype. Because again, every single time like TwoFold would be mentioned anywhere, like people would like never spoil it or anything. They would just bring up like how great it is. And I'm so glad that you brought up the fact that we have the other two friend routes to go down, because I had completely forgotten about it. So thankfully we don't have to say bye to Millie yet, but we'll definitely be saving that for after the art club route. Just it's probably like, because it's probably just gonna be a lot of like skipping through the things that we've already read just to get to like the new scenes with the like the friends and everything. Filler arc. Why is it called that? But yeah, oh, so good. Like the story, like I think the thing that I like the most about like, I don't know, anything Studio Lawn or anything that like Studio Lawn publishes through the Bell House is like a lot of like these visual novels have like such like a personal feeling to them, and I think that's why like the characters are so easy to get invested in. Even the characters who like weren't in it like a terrible amount, like, you know, Tanya was like around but not like a central focus, but like even with her you still get like a good idea of like what she's thinking, what she's feeling, why she does the things that she does, because it just like that's like the main draw, is that like what's the best way to put this? Is that there's not really a plot, I guess, going on. It's just like watching the characters. It's weird to explain it, because if I say that it's just watching the characters interact, obviously that's still a story, and there is like a through line across the entire thing. But like, I don't know, it's like there's not like a goal, like an end goal, I guess, in mind is what I'm trying. Not really what I'm trying to say. I'm having a hard time articulating it. But like the characters are like the driving force of it, and I'm like someone who's like, the characters will always be the driving force of like anything. Antagonist is. Oh, I don't think we saw that one. Rainy day. Are there gonna be? I'm gonna not click through too many of these. Never mind, because I don't remember the antagonist one, so we're not gonna worry about it too much. But like, characters are already like the most important part for me in like basically like anything. But like here with this kind of story, it really matters. Like if I wasn't like. If I didn't like love Millie and like love Olive, like love their relationship and like the conflict that they're going through, I like, well like there's nothing else for me to really get that invested in, because the entire plot is the characters, like what their like emotional state is essentially. And along with that, I think Olive is a really interesting protagonist, just because they're like a character who, you know, obviously changes. Like by the end, I was thinking as they were like, you know, as Olive and Millie were flirting there at the end, I was sitting there thinking like, man, Olive has changed a lot. Like at the beginning of the visual novel, they wouldn't be making like jokes with or like having fun talking with like anyone, but now it's just like their natural state. It's like obviously they're still like more reserved, but like they're so much more open to the people around them. So obviously they have like development there, but the story is like not about them. They're more someone who like facilitates like change, growth, and comfort for other characters. Like it's only because of them that Millie was able to like, you know, go through her arc, find like the comfort that she needed, someone to help her get through the stuff, so then she could like conclude the story. And I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna be like something very similar in the art club route, where again it's not really Olive's story, they're just like the POV character for it, while it's like, while the art club route is Caprice's story essentially. I think hopefully what I'm saying is making sense, but regardless, like they're still, even though it's not really their story, again they still go through a lot. And like one of like the things I really liked about it is just like how natural, like I use that word to describe a lot of the visual novels we've read and will be reading probably, is just how natural it felt, like between like the relationship, like everything, because like I hate like romances that like feel forced, and like everything between Olive and Millie felt like so natural, and like you slowly see them coming out of their shell just like over like the entire course of the visual novel. Like to the point where like, again, like unless like you, until I like thought about it there at the end, I hadn't even realized it, but then I was flashing back through, I was like, oh yeah, they've been like having like this background arc this entire time of just becoming more comfortable with being with people essentially. And so that was like really cool to like realize at the end of it essentially. But yeah, no, it's just like, I don't know, it just has like everything great about the visual novel that I love, with the great art, the incredible music, again this jukebox, the considered competition, out and about, like all this, like these songs are so good. Also, hang on, I want to check something. Extra scene select unlocks. Complete both paths. Oh, we do get a little extra something for completing both paths. I was just gonna look for the credits, just because I didn't actually see who played Caprice. Is Caprice's voice actress the same person who's singing the song? Hang on. Who plays Caprice in TwoFold? Yeah, okay, so this is Caprice's voice actress singing. That's crazy. And again, the voice acting is like just top notch. Yeah, I don't know how they just found like the most talented people on the planet to do it, but again, the fact that I didn't even realize that was Dotto playing Olive is crazy, because I only listened to them play two separate characters in Please Be Happy for like 25, 30 hours, and I didn't even recognize their voice. So that's crazy. Are you the kind to play favorites? Because I have to say both routes are just fantastic. So different and so alike at once. I don't play favorites unless we're talking about Haley. But I can't wait to see you read the Caprice route. I think it sort of depends on what you mean when you say play favorites. Like, let's say, as much as I hate to say it, it's such a basic answer, I feel, because I feel like everyone loves Aspen. But like, I feel like I do play like a little bit of favorites with like Aspen and Juliet. Like, I love Juliet. She's an incredible character, and her route was incredible. But like, Aspen's my girl, man. She's my fave. She's my fave girl, you know. So I definitely like have favorites, but I don't know how much I guess if I do anything with that, I guess is what I'm thinking. I don't really do anything with that. So it sort of depends on what you mean when you say play favorites. Because like, I really do love Millie. I love her, and I'm gonna miss her a lot. But I'm also very excited to see Caprice's route. Just because, like, again, with all the writing I've seen from this team between First Snow, On Wings Bringing Sleep, and this route, I'm sure that by the time we're done with Caprice's route, I'm gonna love her at least on a similar level to Millie. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a very similar thing there. So I have a lot of confidence in that fact. So again, it's one of those things, like, I'm excited for it. It's kind of, again, just to keep comparing it to Please Be Happy, it's sort of like how I felt about, like, switching the routes of, like, oh, I'm going to miss Aspen so much because I love her and I want to keep reading more stories about her. But I'm also really excited to see more about Juliet, really, like, get into, like, her story, figure out who she is as, like, a person, you know? So it kind of feels like that, where, like, seeing how incredible one of the characters is just makes me more excited to see other characters, because even if they end up not being my favorite, they'll still probably end up being a character that I really like. And we're also going to get, like, back with, like, the art club. We're going to see a bunch of, like, Allison and Eileen and Wallace, the goat, the evil, intimidating goat. And hey, Haley's going to be in both routes, so I'm okay with that. And I'm a-okay playing favorites with Haley. I don't like to say stuff like this is my favorite this or my favorite that, because I don't want to undermine the amount of effort that has been put into everything, be it a character, a route, or a game as a whole. So I'm not really one to rank characters or games. Like, I like to pick a favorite because it's inevitable, but I think some people tend to undermine the sheer quality of everything along such Bellhouse. And yeah, that's exactly, like, that's kind of what I was trying to, like, say with, like, the Aspen and Juliet thing. Because, again, Aspen is my favorite of, like, part of, like, that story. Like, she's my favorite character in it. But that doesn't mean that Juliet doesn't, like, have her own strength. Like, it doesn't mean she's any, like, less, like, her route is any less good. Again, like, just because Aspen's my favorite doesn't mean that, like, I hated Juliet's route. No, I loved Juliet's route. It's just that I preferred, not even that I really preferred one, I just liked one more. Like, again, if I was like, I'm going to replay Please Be Happy, just because it released on the PS4 and 5 and on consoles everywhere, so we're going to play it eventually. And I have, like, there's like no part of me that's like, man, I really want to play Aspen's route, but Juliet's route, I don't want to do that. No, I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to get back into both, to see my favorite characters again, to see what they're both up to and everything like that. Like, I don't have a favorite TwoFold route. I adore both of them equally for different reasons, and I think that's a very fair way to do it, especially if they are, like, same goes for PBH. See, and again, I feel like that's a very fair way to go about it. Like, just to keep using Please Be Happy, just because, like, it'd be hard for me to use TwoFold as an example, since, you know, haven't finished or anything. But, like, using Aspen, like, she's my favorite character, which adds to the fact that that's, like, my favorite route. And I think I see what you mean, though, but, like, when people say, like, this is my favorite part of this, it undermines other parts. But I think that kind of depends on, like, how people would put it. Like, when I say Aspen's my favorite, I could see people taking that as, like, oh, so you just don't really like Juliet as much. And part of me would say, yes, like, I don't... Like, Aspen just, like... Both of them related to me a lot in different ways. It's just that, like, I have the... It's hard to explain after being, like, separated from it for so long. But, like, it's just sort of comparing... I think a great way to do it is, like, using my Epic the musical tier list, where I loved all the songs, but I do have a favorite. But that doesn't mean that I think that the other songs are, like, bad or, like, lesser or anything like that. They're all great in their unique ways, but everyone has, like you said, inevitably everything has, like, favorites or preferences or just things that they like. We were describing with like Pokemon earlier, like just sometimes like the vibe of the story just hits you better and like more like close to your heart than other things do. Oh yeah, when I say I'm thinking of specific people, I'm not a Twitter user making assumptions on unspoken words. Oh yeah, no, I didn't assume, I didn't think that you were, so you're all good there. But then there's cases like Haley Art, NPG, and Yellowstone where I just have to scream when they're my favorites because they've touched me at such a personal level, I just can't help it. No, and that's like totally fine. Just expressing like what like makes you happy, essentially. Like if they connect you like that, then it's like you should express yourself like that. But again, I do definitely see what you mean though, of like some people, especially because some people try, I see this a lot and I try to like not like interact or like do this too much, of like people will like say like using TwoFold, like let's say someone like really preferred the Caprice route. I see a lot of people who would do stuff like they'll be like, oh well, like the Millie route wasn't really that good because yada yada yada, and then they'll just like use it to like try and hype up the Caprice route. And I really don't like tearing down other things when I'm comparing. Like obviously if I need to pull like an example from something, like in a way it did it wrong and why I prefer something, like that's okay to do. But some people like to present it as a, I like this thing more because the other thing is bad. And so I don't want to, like, unless it's like super warranted, like if there's like something terrible about something, then like I guess that's valid. But even then, I don't really feel like it would be like it warrants tearing down anything else just to hype up the thing that you like. So yeah, no, your point is very valid. But yeah, no, again, and with Haley, I'm just so excited to see more of her, just because she's just a vibe. She's just so chill and so cool. Like, when Olive was like describing like how Haley just has like is like the type of person who like slows people down, it's like, yeah, no, and that's a vibe I appreciate a lot in people. I mean, they say it was cis guys, not all of them, not only them and not all of them, but being like, this is my best girls ranking on this, and it's just like, I know they don't mean bad with that, but it's just so erasing and belittling in a way. No, and I feel like people like really go over, because as soon as you said like this is the best girls ranking, it reminded me of a conversation I had with a friend about her book talk boyfriend tier list. And like it gives off very similar vibes to that. Yeah, Lamau. Because especially when it comes to like fictional characters that people love, obviously, like, again, I love people expressing joy and everything about the things that they like, but it doesn't have to come at the expense of everything and everyone else. So I totally get what you mean. Yeah, but it's just so erasing and belittling, yeah. Especially when they try to, like, because a lot of people like to speak on things as if, like, their opinions are, like, facts. They'll be like, well, this character was, like, terrible because of this trait that they have, but then other people will be like, but I like that trait about them, yada yada, stuff like that. But yeah, no. So, I don't really like to play favorites like that. Like, again, like, let's say if I do end up liking the Caprice route less than the Millie route, I'm not just gonna sit there and bash the Caprice route. At most, I would just, like, express any of the criticisms I have, because there is a difference between criticizing something and then just being rude, you know what I mean? Granted, some people, like, can't take that very well, like, they see, like, any kind of criticism as an attack, but, like, you know, if you see criticism as a form of attack, then, like, that's on you, dog. I don't know what to say about that. Like, before you reminded me that we had the other two friendship routes to do, one of my complaints for this was going to be, I don't know why Heather and Darren were really in the story. Like, Heather did a little bit, and then they were gone. So, like, they were kind of pointless characters who didn't really contribute a whole lot. But, like, again, the fact that they have all this extra stuff to go through kind of fixes that, like, would-be criticism, essentially. So, yeah, if I do end up having more criticisms for the Caprice route, then, yeah, well, I'll obviously voice them, but I don't want to be mean about it. Like, even if I wasn't, like, a Bellflower or anything, I wouldn't want to be like, well, this thing just sucked, it was terrible. Like, that just, I don't know, it just seems, like, overly mean. I respect all opinions if they're expressed in a respectful manner. Doesn't matter if it's constructive or not, people should be allowed to like things without being able to spell out. Yeah, exactly. Like, It is kind of complicated to explain, because, like, let's say if, like, I'm watching, like, a review of something, and, like, they make fun of it, as long as they're not, like, going overboard, I'm, like, fine with it. But if something, like, let's say if it's, like, one of those people who, like, you see who's, like, well, I hate this thing, and anyone who likes this thing sucks and is the worst, and blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm serious when I talk with dashes, Lamau. As soon as you add the dashes in, that's how you know you're going all out. That's when you're in sicko mode. But, like, that's kind of like why I can't, like, stand to be on, like, any kind of, like, book talk or, like, booktube or, like, book Reddit, like, anything like that, because it's just the most, like, negative people ever who are just, like, bashing for the, for the sake of bashing. Like, it's such a miserable place to be. I hate it. So it's gotten to the point of, like, if I finish a book, I'm simply not gonna look up any reviews of it, because chances are everyone I'm gonna find is just gonna be miserable. Spookstube, like Napstablook, exactly like Napstablook. Except Napstablook wasn't really too spooky. They were kind of like Casper, where they're not really that spooky of a ghost. They're just kind of friendly. They're just kind of vibes. So yeah. Like, again, I think, like, making jokes about something is, like, fine, as long as you're not, like, going overboard about it. And that's how I kind of feel about it in general. Like, when you're, like, criticizing stuff like this, as long as your goal isn't to try and make other people hate it, like, which I don't, like, people do a lot of stuff with, like, that intent, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, you know, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. It's not that deep. People can enjoy what they want, so. Because I agree. I respect all opinions if they're expressed in a respectful manner. The only book series I've read was Maze Runner. I enjoyed it a lot, but everyone I've met who has read it has told me how much it sucks and why I have poor taste. Exactly. Okay, like, I know that's, like, the internet, and, like, that's how the internet is, yada, yada, yada. Like, if you express any opinion, you'll, like, be hit with that. But there's something about books that genuinely, like, people like to make fun of, like, the anime community a lot for, like, being like that, or, like, stuff like that, or, like, the video games, like, whatever, like, gatekeeping and all that kind of stuff. But books truly bring out the worst in people. I've never seen a more miserable and unpleasant, like, community to be in than book readers, which makes me so sad, because I love reading books, and whenever I finish something, I love looking up reviews of it and, like, what people see. But, like, and again, I don't care if I, like, watch a review and the person disagrees with me, like, that's completely fine. But when all they're talking about is just, like, that it's, like, the worst thing ever, and it's like, really, this is the worst thing ever, because that's what you said in the last review, that's the worst thing ever, and the last review, that was the worst thing ever, and the last review, that was the worst thing ever, stuff like that. And then they started, like, bashing on people who enjoy it, and it's like, dog, chill, it's fine. 100% refuse to look at reviews on The Book Thief because I adore that book. I hold it so fondly. Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, it gets to the point of, like, you know, you're not even gonna get, like, constructive criticism for it. It's just gonna be people who are mad. Again, to keep bashing the book sphere on the internet, like, it gets to the point of, like, I'll be watching, like, a review or listening to a review of a book, and they'll bring up, like, who would even write a sentence like this? Like, what does it mean? And then they'll just explain the most easy to understand sentence. It will be something as simple as, he walked up the stairs, and they'll be like, what does that even mean? Who writes like this? And it's like, what are you're just trying to be mad and couldn't find an actual example, so you're stretching so hard you might pull something there. And it's like, just relax. You know, like, and nothing, and, like, every post on the book subreddit is just them being like, hey guys, I read this book and it sucks, and then all the comments are, yeah, that book does suck, it's awful, it's trash, terrible. And then every single time there's, like, the few random things about being like, hey, I read this book and I really liked it, all the replies are, hey, then you're probably stupid, you're an idiot, you need to read a real book. I'll never forgive the movie for taking my favorite scene out of the story. I don't even think I've seen the movie. I definitely haven't read it either. I definitely should at some point, just because it's, like, a classic. But I don't know. Outside of the fact that a book gets stolen, I'm assuming, I know nothing about The Book Thief. I don't even know, like, isn't it, I want to say it's something about World War II, and that's the best I got. That's the best I know about it. But yeah, no. Okay, I was right. You know, very happy subject for a book. I'm down with it. But even, like, with, like, things that are considered classics, like, the only thing I know about The Book Thief is that people on the internet are not happy about it. So, again, just I've completely removed myself from that hemisphere. Anyways, TwoFold. I loved it. It was great. Speaking of positivity, this is just a great story. And again, for someone who like loves the characters, like loves characters the most, like that's like my favorite thing in stories. I'm so happy like that, like I've fallen in love with like these characters as much as they have, and that like not only am I going to get more sides of these characters, but I'm going to meet so many new characters in the next one. Well, probably not going to meet too many new characters, because again, we already know the art club. But it's just going to be a lot of like again, just seeing sides of people that we haven't seen before, because we're going to like see new sides of Haley through that route, most likely. We're going to get to see a lot more of Allison and Eileen now that they're actually like a thing and together. We're going to get some more of the evil and intimidating goat, which I'm so happy about. I'm just realizing I recommended it to Nue. I hope they don't think I'm trying to imply. You know what? If Nue does, then you just gotta explain that it was an oopsie daisy, you know? That you didn't mean anything by it. Because they seem like a fairly understanding person, so they'll understand. That's just really funny though. Oh my gosh, I don't know if that picked up. I always ask this every time, because like I feel like the more I stream, the worse my back's getting. I need to be better at checking my own posture during it, because I just cracked my shoulders and it was the biggest pop. It didn't. Sweet, because I'm not gonna lie, I hate the sound of hearing like other people's like joints and everything like that pop. Granted, I got forced to be used to it just because I went on a trip with two friends, and both of them are just like the biggest finger poppers in the world. And it's gotten to the point like whenever I'm around them now and I do pop my own fingers, they're like, oh my gosh, you can do that now? It's like, yeah, because you guys desensitized me to it. But I also understand like not everyone is okay with like that sound, so I'm like, oh no, I hope that didn't pick up. So that's good to know. But yeah, and I'm also really excited to see Millie from Caprice's point of view, because like we obviously like had her like explain her perspective at the end there, but I'm excited to see like her. Also, I just realized I'm swaying a lot. Yeah, I'm just like twisting in my chair a lot because I got hit with a sudden burst of energy. But like it's gonna be like really interesting, like going through Caprice's side of the story and like seeing how they make you feel about Millie, because obviously in this, right, like they didn't really make Caprice out to be like, you know, she's like sort of the antagonist, like in the confines of it being a story, and like she's the one who causes conflict essentially in a way, but she's not really like a bad person or anything, and the story did a great job of like portraying her that way. But like it also does try to get you to favor with Millie more. No, Heather's the antagonist. You're not. Fair enough, because considering it like gallery, Millie, antagonist, that's fair. But you know what? Counterpoint, she didn't show up enough in the story to really feel like an antagonist. And right as Millie said that every great story needs an antagonist, Caprice popped up at the end. So I kind of count her as the antagonist. Again, not the bad guy, just the antagonist, the causer of conflict. Yeah, that CG is from the Heather friendship ? Route. You know, the fact that you have to add a question mark to it, and the fact that her scene for the friendship route is called antagonist, for some reason makes me more excited to see it, just because I love how much of a dick she is. But yeah, no. Again, just excited to see everything from a completely different side of you. Also, we're probably going to get a lot more Mike and Charlie in the next route, which is going to be really cool, because for like characters who kind of sprouted the conflict essentially by getting together, we didn't really like get to see too much of them throughout the whole thing. So I'm really excited to see more of that. But I think with that being said, it is really late now. We've been going for about 3 hours. And hang on. I'm looking at stuff. You know, I want to send you guys off to watch some Pokemon Infinite Fusions. I've never heard of this streamer before, but I also like, I kind of like just sending people off, like you guys off to wherever I think looks the most interesting, or people who I'm following if they're streaming too. But I'm gonna send you guys off to who I think looks the most interesting. It is quite late, and I got a presentation tomorrow. Well, yeah, no, that's fair. We all got stuff to do in the morning, so I think it's really fair to end there. But I still like to write into people, so that's what we're gonna do. With that being said, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. I had a ton of fun, even if it was like sad and emotional getting through all that. It was a great time. I loved it, and I can't wait to do more of that. And then thank you all again for all the support you've given me and everything like that. Everything I've said before, but 1,000 times. Thanks for the stream. Looking forward to Caprice's route in Undertale tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to finishing the first route of Undertale tomorrow, too. Hopefully going to be starting a little bit sooner, as long as Twitch doesn't unauthenticate me. But yeah, with that all being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye!